Believing oneself to be perfect is often the sign of a delusional mind. Small words from a small being trying to attack what he doesn't understand.
Hey, ho, hold on. I'm going to remember to become Do Not Disturb at the start. No one can disturb me now. Okay, gang. Gather around. Here's the plan. We're gonna fucking get the white bar off the top of the screen. Why does it do this? I think that fixed it. Okay. We're gonna gather around. We're gonna finish Umineko episode 1 for sure. It's gonna happen. I mean, it has to happen because we're getting awfully close to everyone being dead. We're very close to fucking everyone dying. So, yeah. I got the tier list ready for when you finish. Heck yeah, brother. So, yeah, let's get to it, you know? Let's just jump in. Because being as close to the end of it as we are, I mean, we are likely to see something happen. Now that we've sent a bunch of people to their death, basically. Yeah. Interesting, though, that Beatrice seemingly can, presumably, still manifest the letters and shit, even if she can't murder people in this room. Or I don't know. I don't know. But let's get to it. After we chased them out, nobody wanted to say anything. All of the suspicious ones had been driven away. Even though we knew there might be some innocence among them, we still did it. We chased them out of this paradise, where people don't have to suspect each other. But our motive for chasing them out was suspicion of one person towards another, the worst kind of crime for a human. We'd accepted the existence of a 19th person, of the witch. We all might still be talking face to face, trusting in each other. In that instant, we had agreed to chase out all of the suspicious people. Had that been the right thing to do? During this endless silence, do nothing, be quietly tormented by that sin. Hold. Hold. Okay. Aunt Natsui faced the door without letting go of her rifle for even an instant, sitting far back in the sofa. She would probably spend the night staring at the door without a wink of sleep. George Aniki gazed through a gap in the closed curtains by the window, looking down at the courtyard and the mansion that surrounded it. He didn't know whether he was checking to see if a suspicious shadow would become visible through the window, or whether he was wondering to himself about something. Jessica was sitting sideways on the sofa next to Aunt Natsui, a dead expression on her face. And every once in a while, though she just remembered something, she'd take out the inhaler she had used during her asthma attack to get in her mouth. I just heard it from Aniki. But apparently Jessica liked Canon-kun. It was apparently so vague that she hadn't realized it herself. You know, the kind of thing other people tend to spot before the person in question realizes it. Means she might have first learned of her feelings when the person she liked died. Must have been so terrible. So sad. Come to think of it, Canon-kun was the one who had handed her that inhaler. Maybe she was remembering that. I was fishing around Grandfather's study, thinking I'd researched the meaning of the magic circle on the letter's second sheet. And though we were shut up here in a defensive position, a rebellious nature made me want to find some key, some way to resist. After all, I've got plenty of time before tomorrow morning. Who could fault me for how I used that time? No one else showed that much interest in this magic circle. Meaning was unknown, and once we understood it, we were sure to find some message that would cause us unnecessary anguish. I felt the same way. However, I couldn't just ignore it. So I killed time by going through the motions of researching it. Hey Salty, episode 1 dies tonight.
何か手がかりになるようなことは見つけられたかい？さっぱりさ。そもそも日本語で書かれた本を探すことからして骨だぜ。じい様は一体何カ国語を読めたってんだ。大したもんだぜ。バトラ君は眠くないの？誰かが起きていてくれてるうちに休んだ方がいいよ。ナスヒおばさんは寝ず番をしてくれると言ってるけど、体が持つわけない。ローテーションで休んだ方がいいよ。じゃあ兄貴が先に休めよ。俺は眠気が来るまでちょいと調べ物をしてるさ。さっきの魔法陣？どうせ時間は腐るほどあるさ。ベアトリーチェ様がどういうメッセージを込めやがったのか面白そうだと思う。
よせよ、そういうのやってると妙なのに取りつかれちまうぜ。
安心しろよ。俺はマリアにお墨付きをもらってるぜ。俺には霊的才能はからっきしなんだよ。
マリアのこと邪険に。
Maybe, yeah.
しすぎたかな。
Oh, to Maria? No, probably not. Everyone's beating themselves up about like, oh, we were too mean to the kid. Oh, the kid. Oh, but dude, the kid doesn't care. The kid's the only one who doesn't give a fuck. You should be asking, was I too cruel to Nanjo?
ジェシカ、今はそれを考えてはなりません。
でも母さん、もしもマリアが無関係で犯人が他にいたなら、犯人は襲いやすい相手を狙うに決まってる。それで殺されたなら、私たちは見殺しにしたことになるよ。
The gloomy silence settled once again. It looked like Jessica regretted letting her emotions take hold of her and snapping at Maria. She's always been like that, always acting tough and regretting it later.
気持ちはわかりますが、マリアは犯人と接触し、こともあろうか、その肩を持つように煙に巻く発言を繰り返しています。
Yeah.
私はこの部屋から追い出せて清々しています。
夏日おばさんって結構きついっすね。9歳の女の子のザレ言かもしれないじゃないっすか。
It probably wasn't very convincing to hear that coming from me. I myself thought Maria was creepy on several occasions, even doubting her true nature. When Maria was chased out of this room, couldn't deny I'd felt some relief.
もしそうだったなら明日謝罪します。彼らをこの部屋から追い出したのは全て私の責任です。だからあなたたちが気に病むことはないのです。
I could feel a tragic determination in Aunt Natsui's words. To protect her own daughter, she had resolutely chased out the suspicious ones. And if, as a result, she had to watch the people who had unfortunately been suspected die, so be it. He was prepared to take full responsibility.
なんでマリアってあんなことばかり言うんだよ。
Oh. Hey, Pedro. Guys, count the end of chapter 1. I don't know how long I'll stay. Well, if the truth is that there actually is only like an hour left, then you might only need to stay for like an hour. But we'll see how true that is.
自分で自分の首を絞めてるぜ。
But either way, thanks for stopping in. Happy to have you.
もともとマリアちゃんが魔女や魔法に傾倒するようになったのは、僕はローザおばさんのせいじゃないかと思ってる。
Okay. Let's hear about that, dearie George.
ローザおばさんのせい？何がどう関係してるってんだよ。バトラ君だって気づいてるんじゃないかい。マリアちゃんの本当の父親はずいぶん昔に蒸発してるんだ。おばさんはそれを海外出張とか言ってごまかしているけどね。
後宮家ではローザさんたちに関わる話はタブーとされているところがあります。
おばさんは再婚だって考えたと思うよ。でもマリアちゃんの存在が枷になって非常に難しかったんじゃないかと思うんだ。
I really feel for Rosa. She's in a tough spot on in all directions. Her family is shit. Her husband apparently left. Her child is Maria. That's rough. Who can blame her for fucking just slapping her around? I'm sorry.
だっておばさんは
I'm
時
also
折
kind of serious though. I don't know.
ものすごく感情的にマリアちゃんに当たってい
But
たから。
yeah, but you see Maria, like you see the shit she does, man. She's freaking people out. It's pretty weird.
それについては同感だぜ。ローザおばさんはマリアを好きになろうと努力してるように見えた。ってことはつまり好きじゃないってことなんだ。
No, she definitely.
再婚の妨げになっているマリアに思うところがあったんだろうよ。
母親の感情的な拒絶がきっと彼女の幼い心に深い傷を残したと思うんだ。そしてどこかでオカルト趣味と出会い、心の隙間を埋めるように没頭していく。知ってるかい？マリアちゃんにとって魔女のイメージは決してネガティブなものじゃないんだよ。
Yeah, I think I figured that one out, Georgie.
ほら、昨日海岸でマリアちゃんのノートを見せてもらわなかったか？
George, I think everyone knows that Maria does not in fact view witches negatively.
ああ、なんだか楽しそうな落書きでいっぱいだったぜ。
Yesterday, when we were down by the beach doubting the witch, Maria got all riled up, started explaining about witches. Not one of the pages had shown a picture of an ugly witch. They were all brightly colored, beautiful, cute witches who looked like they were having fun. There was absolutely nothing sinister about them, a boy might have imagined. They were beings adorned with beautiful dresses, who could grant anyone's dreams with their mysterious magic, and who made everyone happy. Sorrow of not being loved by her mother. Maria sought help from witches as beings who could give her happiness and save her. Someday a witch would come, using her wonderful magic would bring Maria happiness. Even though she believed that, as she grew older, she had to face reality as her fleeting dreams were sliced to ribbons one by one. Something claiming to be the witch of Rokonjima appeared in front of a girl like that, whispering that she'd take Maria to the Golden Land where Maria could be happy. Dude, she would fucking hate the Wizard of Oz, man. Probably hated that movie. Hey Shep, how's it going, dude? Couldn't watch your stream because you were streaming while I was playing this. Sorry about that.
僕は今頃になって胸中を告白するよ。マリアちゃんを、いや、源氏さんたちを追い出したのは多分。
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was probably the wrong thing because there's an evil witch who's killing people with demon spears. It's not the fat doctor, the crazy little girl, or the butler man. As Jessica had been the one to face them and slam them with words of rejection, her conscience must be tormenting her a lot right now. Look at all that booze. Oh yeah. We're locked up in Grandpa's study. That's basically a like nice ass apartment where he has like a full bar of his demon alcohol, and he would have his butler mix him perfect demon drinks, and he would chug them down while screaming about his dead witch wife. He wasn't married to her, but he wished he was. And then he got so drunk that he decided to start a horrible ritual thing that would kill everyone in his family because he didn't like them very much. But it's okay because he might see his hot witch's face again. That's the plot, currently. Anyway. He was burned alive in a furnace, by the way.
それは私がこの目ではっきり確認しています。あの4人が潔白だというなら、どうやってこの密室の8人もの人間がいる中で手紙を置けたというのですか。
Natsuki, have you considered the possibility of a witch?
そうなんだよ。その話が始まっちまうと、確かに4人は怪しいってことになっちまう。だが。全然ダメなんだ。ああ、全然ダメだぜ。
ダメって何がだい？
ああ、もう今さら何の役にも立たないかもしれねえが、またチェス盤をひっくり返させてくれ。つまり、あの4人が本当に犯人だってんならよ。
Oh, sorry.
そう、あんなテーブルの上に堂々と置いたら。この中に犯人がいますよと告白するようなもんじゃないか。
Listen, maybe in the heat of the moment, you guys didn't really think this through very well.
そうだよ。
Especially because Natsuki had a fucking gun.
やるなら、例えば扉の隙間に置いて廊下側から差し込まれたように見せかけるとか。そうだよ。部屋の外に犯人がいるように見せかけなきゃ自分が疑われてしまうことが分かってたはず。
ああ。そういうことなんだ。あの4人の中に犯人がいたとして。
You know, guys, I think we should leave the room and go tell them it's okay to come back in.
テーブルのど真ん中に手紙をポンと置くことはリスクばかりで何の意味もないんだ。だが、どうやってそこに手紙を置いたかのトリックは置いといて、あの4人以外の誰か、すなわちこの部屋の外に犯人がいたと仮定したとき、あの手紙には大きな意味が生まれる。
よしなさい、バトラ君。 今さら些細な問題です。
Natsui-san quickly guessed what I was getting at. No, maybe she had thought of it long before I had and simply held her tongue.
この部屋の外に犯人がいて、俺たちが外からは手出しをできない密室に立てこもっちまったらお手上げだ。ああ、そうだよ。この部屋からじいさまがいなくなったって話の時、俺が披露した説じゃねえか。
Exactly. I'm telling you, that is how he was. That's how he got. When the door was opened. In that moment.
じいさまが自分から出ていくという説。自分から出ていくような何かの細工を犯人がして、まんまと外へおびき出していたのだとしたら。
Come to think of it, when he found the scorpion magic circle on the doorknob to the study, Maria said it herself. Beatrice couldn't get through this door, but she could induce someone to leave of their own accord.
だとすると、私たちは犯人の罠に見事はまって、新しい生贄候補を送り出しちまったことになるぜ。
Listen, as long... Oh man, I have to pick between Nanjo and Genji. I don't know, man. I like Nanjo because he seems like he's completely removed from everything going on other than the fact that he just happens to be Kinzo's friend. He's just the big fat doctor.
源氏たちもバカではあり
Come
ません。
on, Nanjo, find a way to live, even though I think there needs to be 3 more kills, because we need a stomach, a knee, and a leg. Oh no.
身を守ろうと思うなら、この部屋の次に安全な場所をすぐに思いつくでしょう。
The next safest place after this room is apparently your bedroom, Natsui, because the charm is probably still on your door.
そこできっと身を潜めています。
Aunt Natsui had answered the question. Aunt Natsui herself had realized that if the culprit wasn't in our group back then, that letter would make sense as a trap. However, it wasn't worth the risk of calling back the people she had once thrown out. To Aunt Natsui, right now, her greatest and only duty was to protect the children. By her thinking, in order to do that, few sacrifices were unavoidable.
なあ、夏日おばさん、きついこと聞くぜ。もしあの時、たまたまジェシカもおばさんの後ろにいたなら、おばさんはこの部屋からジェシカも追い出してたかい？確かに残酷なところはあったかもしれない。でも、夏日おばさんは母として娘を守りきろうと思った。その責務から自分がやがては糾弾されることを覚悟で彼らを。俺は別にそれを責めてえわけじゃねえ。ただジェシカはいいおふくろを持ったなってそう思ったのさ。
そうだね。夏日おばさんは朝からずっと続いているこんな事件の中でも冷静さを失わず、ずっとみんなを牽引してきてくれた。もしおばさんまで混乱していたら、僕たちは今頃全員犯人の手にかかっていたかもしれない。だから僕たちはおばさんに
I agree.
感謝しなくちゃいけないと思う。
Thank you, Natsui.
ありがとう。
Being the number one Ushiromiya.
バトラたちの言いたいことは、マリアの母でもあってほしいって。
What? No. That's not what anyone said. That's not even close to what anyone said. Nope, no one said that at all. Nope. There was no subtext that implied that, Jessica. What the fuck are you talking about?
私、マリアのことを実の妹みたいだとずっと思って可愛がってきた。なのにいろんなことがあってちょっと混乱しちゃって。
Guys, we need to we need to keep Maria far away from society. She's too far gone.
ひどいことをたくさん言って傷つけてしまった。母さん、お願いだよ。マリアも。
What? No.
うん、みんなも 一緒にいようよ。
No, this is a horrible idea.
私たちの中に犯人なんていなかったんだよ。
Well, that's true. But also, it's too late now.
この事件の犯人は魔女のベアトリーチェでいいじゃないか。だからもう疑い合う。
I'm sorry, team, but we've made our bed. It's time to sleep. And Natsui closed her eyes for a short while. Was she coping with her throbbing headache again? Or was she thinking of something?
ジェシカは主人と結婚してから12年もかけてようやく授かった。私はジェシカを守るためならどのような鬼にでもなります。
That was some pretty strong language at the end there. She realized very well that her words were an idealized view of what a mother should be. But even so, she was strongly resolved to protect her daughter, even if she had to become a demon. That was her guilty conscience tormenting her. The day's been so long. So many things happened in one day. We've been driven into a corner so thoroughly. I wonder if we have the right to greet tomorrow the way we are now. There it is.
見つけた。この魔法陣だ。
Inside the book I'd been flipping through, I had found the same magic circle that had been drawn on the second sheet of the letter. George Anarchy peered at it as well. This magic circle's name was the Third Magic Circle of Mars. Hebrew written on it was from Psalm 7:7, verse 13 of the Old Testament. What God is so great as our God? Meaning of the magic circle was discord. No notifications. Agitate internal divisions and cause the enemy to bring about their own downfall.
おいおい、マジかよ。
Could there be a more fitting way to describe our current situation and mental state? We couldn't help but be stunned into silence.
じゃあこの手紙は罠だってのかよ。
That's right.
どうやってここに置いたんだよ。この部屋には私たち8人以外には誰もいなかったんだぜ。
とにかくどうやってここに置いたのか、その方法は捨ておくぜ。とにかく犯人の狙いはたった一つ。この鉄壁の書斎に疑心暗鬼を引き起こして生贄の羊を俺たちの手で外へ放り出させることだったんだ。
だとしたら狙いは外へ出された人たちだ。
母さん、どうしよう。あの4人が危ない。
Wasn't surprising that Aunt Natsui remained unpleasantly silent. Even if this was all a trap by the culprit, even if the four who had been chased out of the room were in danger, it had nothing to do with the safety of the four people in here. There was no way to prove the innocence of the four people we chased out. We were willing to let them die, and we shouldn't leave this room no matter what. That way is safest. That time, suddenly, the piercing sound of a phone rang through the room. I thought the phones were broken. It was the antique extension phone set on the table in Grandfather's study. It had rung right after we started talking about the letter being a trap. It was natural we'd think of it as an SOS from the ones we chased out. But then Aunt Natsui spoke.
どうして電話が故障していて使えないはずなのに。
そんなことは関係ねえさ。もしマリアたちが助けを求める電話だったら。
Leave Maria out of this. We should be worried about Genji and Anjo and Kumasawa.
電話の普通が犯人の工作によるものならば、この電話おそらく。
That one sentence, the ring of the phone, which had once sounded like a scream for help, now started to sound like a ghastly lure from some unknown person. And Natsui hesitated over whether to pick up the receiver.
トロ、おばさん、何かの理由で電話が回復したのかも。マリアちゃんたちからの緊急の電話の可能性もある。
そうだぜ。それに万一 犯人からの電話だったら上等さ。話を聞いてやろうじゃねえか。それにどうせ電話だ。受話器越しに何をほざいたって痛くも痒くもないぜ。
I wouldn't be so sure.
おばさんが取らないなら俺が取るぜ。
私が取ります。
Not annoying, the ring is great. Yeah, keep it going. And the phone's ringing. What do you want?
もしもし。
I stretched out my hand to take the receiver, but Aunt Natsui grabbed it before I could reach. We all held our breath, trying to figure out who the person on the other end of the phone was. For a while, Aunt Natsui kept saying hello. Silent phone call? There's no way Maria and the others would do something so Maria would maybe do it. Which means this phone call possibly really be. Natsui stopped repeating hello and strained her ears. She thought she heard something far away on the other end of the receiver. What was that?
Uta? 歌って何ですか、おばさん。
わかりません。電話の向こうでかすかに誰かが歌っているのが聞こえます。何のことやら。
ちょっと受話器を借りますぜ。もしもし。
I half forced the receiver from the stunned Aunt Natsui's hand and pressed it against my ear. At first I didn't hear anything, but, as I had been told about it beforehand, I noticed. It sounded far away from the receiver, rather than someone speaking in a quiet voice. And it sounded like a girl singing a song. That voice did sound like Maria's. That just made the situation even more inexplicable. At the very least, the one who had made the phone call hadn't been Maria. After all, Maria was singing some song far away from the receiver. In that case, the one who had made the phone call should have been Genji-san, Kumasawa-san, or Dr. Nanjo. And yet, they weren't saying anything. Why? For what reason? The person who made this phone call, who was it?
おい、もしもし、誰だ、返事をしろ。歌ってるのはマリアなのか。返事をしてくれ。
何が起こってんだよ。どういうことだ。
わからねえ。一つ言えることは、多分これは罠で。そして。
Maria's fine, guys. Maria has never been more chill, dude. Aunt Natsui took the receiver again, but after yelling into it several more times, she realized that she wasn't getting anywhere and hung up. After that, she dialed quickly. Then she clicked her tongue. That's right. Phones are working, we should be able to reach the police. But judging by Aunt Natsui's reaction, the outside telephone line still didn't connect.
行こう。
No.
罠かもしれないことは分かってても。
No, we don't.
行かないわけにはいかない。
I mean, I guess we should, because as the letter said, there are no ties here. We either win or we die. In the Game of Thrones, you either win or you die.
ああ、まったくだぜ。ジェシカと夏井おばさんはここにいてくれ。
What? When Aniki and I tried to dash out, Aunt Natsui stopped. We need the gun if you're gonna be this stupid.
お待ちなさい。あなたたちだけに行かせるわけにはいきません。私も行きます。
No, but Natsu... No, you need to stay here so that you live.
ジェシカはここで待ちなさい。
You're the best character.
私だけのけ者かよ。
Oh, fucking hell.
私も行くぜ。
We are all just... Well, whatever.
そうだな。その方がいいかもしれねえぜ。
It is do or die.
電話が俺たちをさらに分散させる狙いがあるってんなら、留守番を残すのは適当じゃねえ。議論する暇も惜しい。みんなで行こう。
Aunt Natsui raised the rifle high and took the lead. Couldn't go unarmed myself. I found a three-pronged candle stand and readied it. Although the pins on it used to fit candles were short, it was almost like a three-pronged spear. Then the four of us left the study. We left the study, which should have been the safest place inside the mansion. By doing this, we had been lured out, even though we had barricaded ourselves in a safe, closed room. Perhaps we were doing exactly the same thing Grandfather had done when he disappeared from that room. Almost like a spear, minus a few crucial details, my guy. Listen, we've had a lot of this is almost like this type of weapon in this, okay? You know, he's a big comparer, that battler. I listened closely but didn't hear anything. The mansion was vast. Since the passing typhoon was making its last stand, the sound of the rain was even noisier than before.
Maria-chan は確か客までテレビを見たいと言ってたよね。階下に降りてみよう。
そうですね。行ってみましょう。みんなは周りに用心して。
おわ。
With Aunt Natsui in the center, her rifle ready and her finger on the trigger, we moved in a group, our backs together, checking our surroundings in all directions. It was just as though the magic of that magic circle designed to spread discord had worked. We had split up, and furthermore, had been dragged out into dangerous territory. In other words, even now, we were doing just what the culprit wanted us to do. This was a separate world where it wouldn't be odd for anything to suddenly occur. Called Witchland. Aunt Natsui nervously pointed the barrel of the gun at every dark spot and shadow. It felt like that motion was out of fear rather than caution. The rifle she held in her hand should have been a trump card that the culprit feared.
僕はずっと思ってたんだ。カノン君のように胸にあのアイスピックを突き刺すことは不可能ではないと思う。でも母さんたちのように頭蓋骨を打ち抜いて眉間に突き立てるなんて、簡単なことじゃないと思うんだ。
Okay.
犯人はそれだけバカ力ってことか。
Yeah, witch strength.
多分あのアイスピックを飛ばす、あるいは打ち込む射出機のような武器があるんだよ。人力だけであれだけ深々と一つするにはあの絵は短すぎる。
There's a key word here that you're using.
いずれにせよ
It's the H
頭
word.
蓋骨を打ち抜くほどに強力です。カノンの傷も肺にまで届いていたそうです。もし相手の姿を見ても決して前に出ないように、私の後ろから出てはいけませんよ。
Just how sinister and frightening was the weapon that could shoot those creepy ice picks. It's an ice pick gun. Could I do anything to combat it with just this candle stand in my hand? In the first murder, the culprit probably assaulted all four of our parents at once as they discussed the inheritance problem in the dining hall. There were four of us here now. Apparently, I wasn't the only person thinking this. George Aniki, Jessica, and of course Aunt Natsui were stretching their senses to the utmost limit, in the highest and worst state of tension, slowly advancing one step, then another. What have we done? Because of the seeds of doubt spread by that one letter, we threw Maria and the rest into the middle of this terrifying world. Finally reached the first floor. The parlor was just across the hall. When we listened carefully, we could hear it faintly. Maria's eerie singing voice. She wasn't singing naturally, as though she were in a good mood. She was singing mechanically. She was at a graduation ceremony and she'd been ordered to. The song she sang was just a common folk song, one that everyone has probably sung in school at one time or another. Why that? In the middle of the night, alone, with all her heart, over and over. Why? Right after leaving the study, we had called out in loud voices, asking Maria where she was. This time, no one said even a single word. We hid our breath, the sound of our footsteps, and intensely focused on our surroundings to the point of being completely high-strung. We stepped forward. The door to the parlor was closed. We could hear Maria's singing voice through it. Aunt Natsui put her hand on the handle of the doorknob. George Aniki stopped her.
扉は僕が開ける。夏日おばさんとバトラ君は武器を構えてて。
Ready your weapon, Battler. Get the fucking candelabra ready.
わかりました。
Natsui, here's what we do. When the door opens, you blow Maria's head off. It's the play, trust me.
気をつけて。
開けると同時に攻撃してくるかもしれないぜ。ジョージ兄さん、注意して。
じゃあ行くよ。
Tried to open it, but immediately felt the hard resistance of the lock. At Natsume took the bundle of keys from her pocket and gave them to George. There were about 10 keys. None of us had a clue which was which. Because of this, George had to fumble around loudly and test several of the keys. Yeah, very stealthy, team. Since we had hidden our footsteps, preparing to make a surprise attack on the room, this felt almost fatal. The whole time, we could hear Maria's voice from the parlor, singing the same song over and over. It was like a broken, crazy cassette tape. We'd been in that room almost constantly since morning. All the frightening things had occurred outside that room. That had left us with the impression that only this room was safe. That baseless impression was quickly falling apart.
開いた。
Is she surrounded by the corpses of all of our good friends?
ジョージ君とジェシカは後ろに下がって。
I'm gonna guess. Kumasawa's knees, Genji's legs, and Nanjo's big stomach. It's only natural that Nanjo has the stomach and Kumasawa has the knees. Also, Genji's been running around the whole... It's all foreshadowing if you think about it.
おばさん、一気に飛び込んで左右に分かれよ。
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
扉を開けてボサッとしたら例のアイスピックがど真ん中に飛んでくるかもしれねえぜ。
承知しています。いいですか？
やっぱ嫌だって言いてえな。
I readied myself. If they're gonna be throwing ice picks, I'll whack them with this candle stand.
行きます。
And Natsui and I rammed into the door before flying into the parlor, quickly splitting up left and right and searching the parlor for someone who might be waiting for us. But what our eyes landed upon was an incredibly strange sight. Ah, yeah. The parlor was stained with blood. This place, where we spent almost the entire day, where we pressed in together to protect ourselves from some unknown malice, had been stained with fresh blood, become an ocean of blood. On the floor lay Genji-san, Kumasawa-san, and Dr. Nanjo. No! Their entire bodies stained bright red with blood. But the only way we could identify them was by their clothes. That was because... Ah, that's right. This is how the whole tragedy started. Their faces. Just like our smashed-up parents in the shed. You couldn't tell where their eyes stopped and their noses began. It was as though they'd rudely plunged their faces into tomato pot pies, all squished up. Yep. Normal way to think about it. And that wasn't all. Their bodies had other wounds. Nanjo stomach! Kumasawa knee! Genji leg! Those demon ice picks. They were in Genji's stomach! Dr. Nanjo's knee! What?! Of course, it's his knee. In the epitaph, the 6th Twilight out of his stomach, and on the 7th Twilight, the knee was gouged. So after seeing one of them struck near Kumasawa-ba-chan's calf, I couldn't help masochistically laughing. Ah, that's right. How could you not go for Nanjo's stomach, man? On the 6th Twilight, gouge the stomach and kill. On the 7th Twilight, gouge the knee and kill. On the 8th Twilight, gouge the leg and kill. Ah, now even the 8th Twilight is over. And the next one, the 9th Twilight, what was it again? Maria was there. She was facing the wall in the inner part of the room, standing stock still, completely alone. She faced away from this horrible scene, standing by the wall, singing her song over and over. There was nothing else in the room. Just the corpses of the 3 who had been brutally killed, and the phone receiver, which was still off its hook, proving that this was the room the call had come from. Maria, with all due respect, can you fucking shut up? Just that and Maria, her back to the scene as she kept on singing while facing the wall. We couldn't even scream at this bizarre scene. We could only stare, shocked, with our mouths hanging loosely open. Jessica called out to her. Maria showed no reaction. Alone, she kept singing on and on. We had come here trying to save Maria from some approaching danger. But now that we had found her, we should have been running up to Maria, hugging her, joyous that she was safe. Yet not one of us could do that. Everyone thought it, but they couldn't say it. After all, yes, that's right. Even if that's crazy, no, it couldn't be.
Maria!
It's driving me insane too, Shep, don't worry. I say, yeah, Battler, please, tell her to shut the fuck up. At some point, Aunt Natsuki and I had pointed our weapons at Maria's back. I yelled at Maria in a violent voice, but there was no reaction. She just kept singing. With the candle stand still readied, I ran up to her and forcefully, no, violently slammed my hand down on her shoulder. Then I pulled on her shoulder, forcing her to turn around. Oh, thank God. Maria's small body was quickly pulled down and fell. And as though unhappy at having her singing interrupted, Maria looked into my face with her usual expression. Even in this gruesome situation, she was just like normal.
Maria!
Well, yeah, because she's fucking psycho, dude. She's a psycho demon child. How many times do I have to say this shit? Beatrice. Oh, wow. I threw the candle stand that I'd been holding against the wall. The violence of that reckless sound should have gone straight into Maria's heart. And Maria's expression didn't change at all. You guys. Why aren't you believers?
Ah, ならこれで確定したぜ。19人目はいるんだ。ベアトリーチは実在するんだ。じゃあマリア、これくらいは教えてくれるよな。奴はこの3人をどうやって殺したんだ。何をどうやったらあんなむごい殺し方ができるんだ。知らない。知らねえってことはねえだろ。この部屋での出来事だぞ。歌を歌うのに夢中で気づかなかったとか言い出すんじゃねえだろうな。落ち着いてバトラ君。マリアちゃん、僕とお話ししようね。
George Anarchy, as he always did, crouched down next to Maria so that their eyes met. Talked to her very kindly.
マリアちゃんはどうして壁を向いて
You know, I can't help but notice that everyone else is all emotional and sad when, like, other people die, but then when Genji, a real one, and Nanjo, when they're brutally killed, no one's fucking shedding any tears. What's going on, man? The cruelty of this world. Hold on, I need to know what Maria's thoughts on their deaths are. We're running out of people. Hi, Genji. Found in the parlor, he had a weapon resembling an ice pick sticking out of his stomach, and his face had been smashed. At the 6th twilight, gouged the stomach and kill. Found in the parlor, his thigh had a weapon resembling an ice pick. 7th twilight, gouged the knee and kill. And then, yeah, 8th twilight, gouged the leg and kill. Ay, ay, ay. A lot of people died, yeah. Oh.
じゃあベアトリーチェがここへやってきたんだね。
Maria's not the killer, Salty. It's the
その時にはまだ源氏さんたちは生きていたんだよね。
みんなで客間に来て座ってた。源氏さんはちゃんと鍵をかけてたよ。
There's no witch, bro.
確かに鍵はかかってたが、じゃあどうやってベアトリーチェは客間に入ってきたってんだよ。
でもベアトリーチェは魔女だから鍵なんか関係ない。蝶々になって扉の隙間から通り抜けてきたんだよ。
はあ？冗談も休み休み言いやがる。そ そんなわけねえだろ。
Battler, please.
お前は何を言ってやがるんだ。
信じられないよね。だから言いたくなかった。どうせ言っても信じないもん。でもベアトリーチェは魔女なの。不思議な魔法で何でもできるの。だからベアトリーチェは鍵のかかった扉なんか全然関係ないんだよ。
それで現れたベアトリーチェは、そしてみんなはどうしたの？
ベアトリーチェは言ったよ。おじいさまの書斎は強力な力に守られていてどうしても入れない。だからあと3人の生贄はこの客間の4人の中から選ぶって。みんな嫌だって言ったよ。
No way.
熊沢さんは嫌だってすごい言ってた。
Imagine Genji was pretty chill.
でもベアトリーチェは選ぶよ。
I feel like she's playing favorites though by letting Maria live.
そしたらね、
Uncool
ベア
Beatrice.
トリーチェはマリアはいいよって言ってくれたの。どうしてだと思う？バトラがマリアの安全を祈って念を込めてくれたあの火星の5の魔法陣の
Oh, you
サソリ
fucker!
のお守りがあったからだよ。
Oh, why'd you give it to
だ
her?
からその力でベアトリーチェは私にだけは何もできなかった。だから生贄はマリアじゃない3人に決まった
Should
の。
have gave it to literally anyone else.
そしたらね、ベアトリーチェはね、
Maybe
言
I'm
った
being
の。
unfair towards the child, but
さあさあ、壁に向かってお歌を歌って聞かせなさい。あなたはたくさんお歌を歌うから、何が起こっても何が聞こえても、さあさあ、楽しいお歌をわらわにたくさん聞かせておくれ。
だからマリアはずっとお歌を歌ってた。ずっと歌ってたんだよ。だから何も聞こえない、わからない。そしたらバトラたちがやってきたんだよ。
ooh.
それを信じろってのか？バカにするんじゃねえぜ。
じゃあ今度は誰を疑う？マリアを疑う？マリアをこの場で殺してみる？そんなことしてもベアトリーチェはいなくならない。これで第8の番は終わったよ。ベアトリーチェは蘇る。
ふざけんな。もうそんな話は金輪際ごめんだぜ。魔女なんているもんか。煙に巻かれてたまるか。俺は認めねえぞ。ベアトリーチェなんていいね。絶対に俺が認めねえ。だから存在なんかさせねえ。蘇りもさせねえ。伝説は永遠に伝説のままだ。この俺がそんなことを認めねえ。
よせよバトラ。マリアが殺したわけでも見殺しにしたわけでもない。
Well, she definitely let them die.
ベアトリ
Not
ー
that
チ
she could have really done anything,
マ
but
リアは抵抗できず従わざるを得なかっただけだぜ。
あれ、夏日おばさん？
that's right.
おばさんがいない。
Huh?
あれ、
母さん
She's not said a fucking
どこ行っ
word.
たの？
さっき手紙を読みながら一人で出て行ったよ。
Another letter? Letter? Makes sense. The culprit must be so exhilarated now that we've reached the eighth twilight. Eighth might have left a letter so that they could brag even more. We're so wrapped up in questioning Maria that we forgot to look for a letter. Even as well armed as she was, why had she left the room by herself in this dangerous mansion after reading it? Jessica tried to chase after her and tugged at the handle of the door, resisted strangely and wouldn't open.
母さん、お母さん、何これ。開けて、開けて。
It was only natural. Natsui had picked up the candle stand, which Battler had thrown at the wall, and which had fallen to the floor. He had then skillfully wedged it between the doorknobs and the double doors like a bolt, holding them closed. The intricate design of the candle stand caused it to get caught solidly. It really did make a sturdy seal on the door. Tragic scream of a daughter for her mother. Did it reach Natsui's ears, or not? Natsui's figure was alone in the entrance hall. It was the place decorated by the portrait of Beatrice. Natsui threw down Beatrice's last letter, the one she had read in the parlor, readied her rifle again, and in a voice that rang clear, yelled in the massive space that was the entrance hall.
後ろ宮家代表、後宮夏日です。姿を見せなさい。黄金の魔女、ベアトリーチェ。
The entrance hall was dimly lit. Other than a faint light which shone in the center of the room, everything was blotted out by the jet-black darkness. In that darkness, butterflies glittering in gold squirmed, twinkled, and sneered. Natsui gave one more huge gulp and pointed the cold barrel of the gun at the gold butterflies.
ようやく姿を現しましたね。あなたのような存在が本当に存在したのって私は未だ信じることができない。でもそれは問題ではありません。後宮家の代表であると自負する私と後宮家の当主を引き継いだと自称するあなたが今この場にいる。
Song.
あなたが本当に魔女なのかどうかは今となっては些細な問題です。さあ決着をつけましょう。
Oh damn, Natsui, you're so fucking great.
後宮家を真に引き継ぐ者はどちらか。この後宮夏日か、あなたベアトリーチェか。あなたの決闘の申し出謹んでお引き受けさせていただきます。
The gold butterflies slowly formed a human shape, which walked into the dim light. Natsui readied the rifle and glared. The witch raised her golden staff overhead and laughed. Natsui's finger slowly squeezed the trigger. Atler made an all-out dash at the door and rammed into it, crushing the candle stand that had been barring it and making it possible for a big gap to be opened in the door. He kept kicking the candle stand through that gap. The door was finally released. At that time, they heard it. They certainly heard the crisp sound of gunfire ring out once.
ジェシカちゃん、一人で先走っちゃいけない。今のは銃声だぜ。夏代おばさんが撃ったんだ。
At whom? At the culprit. The noise had come from the entrance hall. The entrance hall looked like a stage, like the heroine of a tragedy, the ground and bathed in light. Arrayed in the beauty of that silence, and Natsui lay face up, crumpled on the floor. Half crazed, Jessica ran up to Aunt Natsui, and Aunt Natsui's forehead was almost as though a sparkling shard of pigeon blood ruby had been placed there. Sparkling shard of whatever that means. Oh, that was the dead sound. And from it, one stream of blood makeup passed by her eye, began to traverse her face. The faint smell of gunpowder smoke came from the barrel of the rifle that Natsui still grasped. Then she shot herself in the forehead. Why?
どうして自分の額を打ち抜いてるんだよ。
It didn't happen that way, Battler. Beatrice.
マリアちゃん、夏日おばさんは手紙を読んでから部屋を出たんだよね。手紙がない。くそ、おばさんは何を読んでどうしてここに誘い出されたんだ。
知らねえぜ、知らねえぜ。そんなことはどうでもいいぜ。なんなんだよ、どうして自殺なんだよ。話を置いてくんだよ。
Jessica clung to her mother's corpse, crying earnestly. My body was consumed with an anger I didn't know what to do with, and I snatched the rifle from Aunt Natsui's hand. I spun around, pointing the barrel of the gun into the darkness on all sides, as though I was pointing a light from a lighthouse trying to find the culprit. George Anarchy, even in this situation, was trying to calmly figure something out. That might have been a fruitless effort. Sorry, I just thought, no! I'm shot to death in front of the witch's portrait. How impudent of her to challenge a witch with nothing but a mere gun. Of course she'd end up like this. And only Maria was completely indifferent. So is this all supposed to be some kind of predetermined fate? No, that's not it. This is all prelude to a wonderful world. The door to the Golden Land will finally open.
第9の晩に魔女は蘇り、誰も生き残れはしない。そして第10の晩に旅は終わり、黄金の里へ至るだろう。これで全部終わったね、ベアトリーチェ。おめでとう、おめでとう。だからマリアを導いて。あなたの話してくれた黄金鏡へ。今こそ。
There, all of the dead will be revived, and even lost love will be restored. So in Maria's eyes, it's just as though all of today's tragedies didn't happen. It's as though all the time she spent deprived of love never happened.
いい加減にしやがれ。何が楽しい、何がおめでたい。この島には18人いた。14人死んだ。残りは俺たち4人だ。俺は絶対に死なねえぞ。夜が明けるまで、いや台風が過ぎ去ってまた船着き場に海猫たちが帰ってくるまで俺は絶対に死なねえんだよ。生き残ってやる、生き残ってやる、絶対。
よしなよバトラー。ベアトリーチェに銃なんて意味ないよ。それに生き残るも何ももうおしまいなんだよ。もう旅は終わったんだよ。ほら時計を見てごらん。
Is midnight. Huh? The clock? Hearing those words, I looked at my wristwatch. Both needles were almost touching near the top. Very soon, it will be 12 o'clock at night. In other words, 2400. You think about it. Isn't 2400 a strange time? Or 24 hours, everyone say it. It can be called 24 o'clock, 2400. It can also be called 000. It's the hour, the culmination of the previous day, and at the same time, it's hour 0 as the next day begins. Hello, Shadow. Maria suddenly called out happily and ran towards the darkness. It was almost as though Beatrice was somewhere in that darkness. Maria was running up to her. As Jessica hugged her mother's corpse, as George Anarchy stood there confused, I looked down the barrel of that rifle, gazing into the darkness. I looked down the barrel of the resin. He's aiming, he's not pointing at his head. The space in front of Beatrice's portrait lay in that direction, and the thing Maria was running up to was the portrait's subject. You've got to be kidding me. This is just impossible. Like I'd fall for something like this. Witches don't exist. I won't accept it. something like you shouldn't exist. Because this is a human world. Think I could accept something that's not human? I definitely won't accept it. When I pulled hard on the rifle's lever, the cartridge was ejected, fell on the floor, and a new cartridge was loaded. Then, I sighted the witch down the barrel. Maria turned around. Still clinging to the golden witch, she turned around.
だから意味なんてないってば。ベアトリーチェに鉛玉なんて意味ないってば。バカだね、人間は。
俺は魔女なんて認めねえぞ。貴様は誰だ。一歩でも動いてみろ。指一本でも動かしてみろ。こいつをぶち込んでやる。
Get all the giggles out. Oh, okay. As the witch, no, the witches laughed. Even the large clock in the hall joined in on their laughter. It was probably telling us the time was 2400. Apparently Maria's saying this. There's both a tone telling us that we had reached the culmination of this day, and a tone informing us that all had returned, and nothing. The rule that the witch would win when time ran out had already been revealed.
バトラー、ジョージ兄ちゃんにジェシカ、旅は終わって、魔女は蘇ったよ。
And none shall be left alive. The witch shall praise the wise and bestow 4 treasures. 1 shall be all the gold from the golden land. 1 shall be the resurrection of all the dead souls. 1 shall be the resurrection of the love that was lost. 1 shall be to put the witch to sleep for all time. Sleep peacefully, my beloved witch, Beatrice. Oh, wait, Bonnie, send me that last song. I like that last song. Wait, what? The storm passed, and the leaden clouds that enshrouded the island for so long cleared away. From the rifts between the clouds, sunbeams shone, and yesterday's storm seemed like a lie. Just as someone had wished, the seagulls returned to the harbor once again and let their lively cries be heard. Afterwards, the police came and conducted an investigation of the scene. Corpses of the children, who were thought to have survived until the very end, were never found. However, because of the body parts that were discovered, and the unimaginably gruesome nature of the scene, the police were forced to conclude the chances of survival for any of the 18, even the children, seemed hopelessly dim. Just how gruesome was the banquet of the witch, and how beautiful was the golden land. They were the only ones who got to hear that tale. No tales were told to those humans who arrived after the banquet was over. The best they could do was imagine what might have happened during those 2 days. However, the witch was fickle. She made a point of leaving behind this tale, which didn't need to be heard, and it was allowed to spread. Then, many years later, a strange wine bottle that had drifted on the waves to the pier of a neighboring island was pulled out by a fisherman. Inside it was a thin, tightly rolled notebook fragment. Written upon it, cramped small letters. Written there was this tale. Through this tale fragment were people who finally learned the truth of the mysterious and riddle-filled 2-day period that started on October 4th, 1986. This incident was later called by many names such as the Rokujima mass murders, the 18 killings of Rokujima, the witch legend serial murders. Lovers of the occult claimed it was the result of an immortal ceremony that had sealed the island, and those 2 mysteries were savagely embellished with many different interpretations. The story began to spread far and wide. However, not one of the interpretations approached the truth. Furthermore, while the notebook fragment describes this mysterious incident, it does not reveal the truth of what happened there. Or perhaps, even the writer didn't know what the truth was. According to the writer, Her name was Ushiromiya Maria. Incidentally, as a result of an all-out police investigation, part of Maria's body, a piece of her jaw, was discovered. It was one of the rare instances where a corpse was identified thanks to dental records. At the gruesome scene, there had been many body parts that couldn't be identified as belonging to any specific person. It's probably to say this jaw was extremely unfortunate to find. Because this jaw had been separated from its body, the police judged her chances of survival to be hopelessly slim, even though no number of body parts were found, or at least identified. And so, let this conclude this tale with the final section of the notebook fragment the Ushiromiya family left behind. By the time you have read this, I will probably be dead, although there may or may not be a corpse. You who have read this, please find out the truth. That is my only wish. Ushiromiya Maria. To this very day, the truth of the witch legend serial murders has not been brought to light. First game, Legend of the Golden Witch. Result. Kraus died on the first twilight, chosen by the key of the Golden Land. Rudolph, first twilight. Yup. Kyrie, first twilight. Rosa, first twilight. Shannon, first twilight. Goda, first twilight. Ava, second twilight. Hideyoshi, second twilight. Enzo, fourth twilight. Yup. Wait, whoa. A stake of Asmodeus, stake of Beelzebub, stake of Mammon, stake of Satan, stake of Lucifer, stake of Belphegor, stake of Leviathan. The witch Beatrice, revived in the ninth twilight, finally opens the door to the Golden Land. Natsui died in the ninth twilight. The witch praised her nobility and granted her the honor of a duel. Oh, missed the other twilight. He announced the existence of the witch and prostrated himself. The witch invited him to the Golden Land. She announced the existence of the Golden Land. She announced the Golden Land. Will the witch invite this man who denied her existence to the Golden Land? The witch will praise the wise and should bestow the fortress of the Golden Land, although they revive the souls of the dead and made them lost. A large amount of gold might be desired, it would be the grass. George chose his lost finance. Jessica chose the boy she had liked and lost. Maria chose her lost love, and her mother. Sleep peacefully, Beatrice. Let nothing disturb your slumber ever again. The winner is the Golden Witch Beatrice. What? Time ran out before even one of the 18 people could solve the riddle of the gold. All 18 died. When the seagulls cried, none were left alive. I failed? I didn't have a say. What? What? Wait, what? Golden Witch has prepared a gift for you in commemoration of your stay. You can find these new features on the title screen. Thanks. You need to do the thing it unlocked now, still technically part of episode 1. Tea party? You've done well to make it this far. Have you enjoyed your stay in Rokunjima? The Golden Witch has granted you an invitation to her tea party. We hope that you choose to attend. Episode 1 tea party? What? What's happening, man? Purgatorio. Wait, are we actually time looping? Wait, we actually are gonna time loop, aren't we? Wait, fuck, we are gonna time loop, aren't we?
Oh, Mina! Umineko no naku koro ni otsukare-san!
Thanks, Battler.
やれやれ。わけがわかんないうちに物語が終わっちまったな。
つまりなんだ？
あ
れは結局犯人は暴けず時間切れのバッドエンドでしたってことなのか？
おお、きっとバッドエンド。おお。
そうだね。1日目の夜にマリアちゃんが読んだベアトリーチェの手紙に碑文の謎を解いてみるとちゃんと予告してたもんね。
For the record, yeah.
僕たちは自衛や犯人を探るのに忙しくて全然その謎に挑まなかったし。
Yeah.
そうですね。ちゃんと碑文の謎に挑んでいたら 違う結末もあったのでしょうか。
それはどうかな。シャノンちゃんもお疲れ。お茶の給仕なんてしなくていいぜ。何しろここはお疲れ様会なんだからよ。ひでえ目にあった者同士仲良く傷の舐め合いをしようぜ。ベロベロベロ。
ひでえ目って言ったらシャノンがぶっちぎりだったぜ。綺麗どころのキャラだからてっきり最後まで生き残るかと思ったら一番最初に殺されるし、しかもなんだっけ、顔面を半分砕かれてたんだっけ。最悪だよな。
そういうお役目でしたら仕方ありませんし。
姉さんが気にすることはないよ。お嬢様方もラストのエピローグを見る限り相当悲惨な最後を遂げられたようだしね。
どうもそうみたいだね。なんだか全身を食いちぎられてバラバラにされたみたいな恐ろしい描写があったような気がするよ。
それを言ったらカノン君の最後が一番かっこよかったと思うぜ。
No. Not Sui's last moments were the coolest.
返り討ちとはいえ犯人と一騎打ちだろ。俺らのよくわからん最後よりは数段マシだぜ。
結局何も歯が立ちませんでしたが。
でもカナン君の死は大きなヒントになったと思うな。だってあのせいで19人目の存在が明らかになったんだから。
Yeah,
そうだ
Yomi.
ね。あの時点では全員の所在が明らかだった。だからカノン君を殺せるのは未知の19人目しかありえない。
マリアは最初からベアトリーチェだってずっと言ってる。
信じたくはねえけどベアトリーチェを名乗る魔女が犯人ってことになるんだろうぜ。
I don't
そうですよ
understand.
ね。人にはできない不思議なことがいっぱいありましたし。
Is this canon? Is this kind of...
エヴァおばさん
Is
の
this all of you
密
in
殺
the...
人とか
I
魔
mean,
女
it
に
is
しかできない
Purgatorio. Is this all of you after you're dead?
人間にはできない。
Are you just in fucked up? In the head?
19人目が存在することが明らかで、しかもその
Oh, sorry, canon.
その人物をベアトリーチェと呼んでも差し支えはねえだろうぜ。
多分僕たちはラストで出会っているよ。
Probably.
黄金の魔女にね。
Yeah, probably.
だからマリアはベアトリーチェがいるってずっと言ってる。みんなずっと信じなかったからダメだった。
True, though. True. I give Maria a lot of shit, but she's always right.
信じないと奇跡は起きないって友達の魔女も言ってる。
Even one of her witch friends says that miracles won't occur if you don't believe. What does that mean?
そうですね。
Witch friends?
ベアトリーチェ様は敬う者に寛大だそうですし。
マリア様は恐ろしい事件が次々と起こっていっても最後までベアトリーチェ様の脅威からは外されてい
What
ないよ
about
うに思い
Kinzo?
ます。
Kinzo got thrown in the furnace.
マリアは一番の最初からベアトリーチェを信じてたもんな。でもそれじゃあ同じように信じてたカノン君たちも殺されたのは納得がいかないぜ。
それは多分ベアトリーチェ様なりのご都合があられた。
碑文の歌がベアトリーチェ様の復活の儀式を意味するものなら大勢の生贄が必要だった。その一人にご指名をいただけたということなのでしょう。
シャノンちゃんはひどい最後だったよ。せめてもう少し綺麗で安らかな方法もあったろうに。
まあ痛かったわけじゃないですし、それにほら今はこうして全然平気ですからへっちゃらです。
After seeing him stroke Shannon's cheek, which had been crushed during the story, everyone laughed out loud, smiling.
でもこう言っちゃなんだけど僕はてっきり本格ミステリーだと思ってたからね。ファンタジーだと分かってちょっと驚いてるよ。遺産をめぐる外界から隔絶された孤島の洋館物なんて推理物の王道だと思ってたからさ。
しいじゃない。ベアトリーチェはいるの。
ええ、分かっています。ベアトリーチェ様はいらっしゃいます。
I feel like I'm on drugs.
そうですね。ベアトリーチェ様はいらっしゃいます。
悔しいが認めざるを得ねえよな。19人目の魔女の関与は明らかだしな。
人間には不可能なことをいくつもやってのけてる。劇中の僕らはそれを否定したくてあれこれと考えたけれども、今ならはっきり言えるよ。どれもいずれも全て人間には不可能な犯罪だった。魔法の力を使いこなす魔女のベアトリーチェにしか成し得ない犯行だよ。
犯人は魔女だった。その一点においてベアトリーチェ様万歳ってわけだ。
みんな信じた。マリアは嬉しい。神様も魔女も怖がる人には恐ろしい存在かもしれませんけど、信じ敬う人にとってはきっと慈しみのある存在に違いないと思います。
姉さんの言う通り。
じゃあさ、
Alright.
せっかく殺人事件ごっこは終わったわけだし、
You threw Kinzo in a furnace.
ここで気を取り直して
She did.
ちゃんとベアトリーチェの言う通
Is it
り
her
気分の
biggest
謎に
sip?
挑戦してみねえか。
賛成。きっとベアトリーチェも喜ぶ。
But
劇中ではみんな無視してたからね。
yeah, I know. I was yelling at them the whole time.
せっかく出題されたのにほとんど無視されて、なんだかかわいそうですね、ベアトリーチェ様。気分のメモがある。みんなで謎解き、みんなで謎解き。
物語は多分この時点から間違ってたんだろうね。
そうかもしれません。私たちはベアトリーチェ様のご指示通り碑文の謎に挑むべきだったのかもしれません。
まあすっかり遅くなっちまったけどな。今からでも再挑戦するってことで魔女様には許してもらおう
What
ぜ。
if we rewind time?
碑文の謎に挑戦してみよう。何懐かしき故郷を貫く鮎の川。
Maria put her notebook on the table and opened to the page where the epitaph was written. Everyone stared at it, getting really into it as they started guessing this and that about the riddle. Surrounded by the smell of black tea and freshly baked vanilla cookies, they spent the time comfortably and happily. Battler spoke in a way that cut through the conversation. His expression looked a little unhappy. What could he not like about all of this fun?
お前ら、さっきから聞いてりゃ、何を思考停止してんだ？なんで魔女の仕業ってことで決まってんだよ。そんなのあるわけねえじゃねえかよ。
Just those words, the happy atmosphere surrounding the tea party evaporated in an instant. George and Jessica, and Shannon and Cannon, and Maria, all of them stared blankly, wondering what in the world Battler was talking about. Even the foolish, arrogant Battler realized that he hadn't chosen his words well.
明らかに人間には無理な事件だったじゃないか。
そうだぜ。どの事件も人間には無理なことばかり。
そうですよね。だって人間じゃ説明がつかないことばかりじゃないですか。
バトラ様が何を言い出すのか僕には分かりません。
お前たちこそ何を口々に言い出すのかさっぱりだぜ。こんなの人間が起こした事件に決まってるじゃねえかよ。魔女なんているわけねえだろ。
じゃあ私が倉庫の中で殺されてた時、顔の半分をひどいことにされていましたが、あれは人間が犯人ならどう再現するというのですか？
Why aren't you talking about who did it? You would have known.
そりゃ どうやったらあんなひでえことができるのか。ちょっと想像は。でも、あそこはバラ庭園の倉庫だぜ。きっと、中に妙な道具とかがいくらでもあっただろう。わかんねえけどよ。例えば、電の子とかグラインダーとか。そんな。
それは、
じゃあバトラー、じいさまが密室の書斎から消え去っていたのはどう説明するんだよ。扉は封印されていたのに、じいさまは忽然と消え去ってたぜ。
その話は劇中でも出ただろう。じいさまが何らかの方法を使えばレシートをごまかすことは不可能じゃない。あるいは窓から出て、あるいは落ちて、夏日おばさんが窓を内側から施錠した可能性もある。別に魔法を使わなくたって他にもいくつか手は思いつくだろうぜ。
それはそうだけどよ。
How do you explain Beatrice being a character in Mugen?
ならバトラ君、僕のお母さんたちが客室の中で殺されていたのはどう説明するんだい？扉には鍵もチェーンもかかってた。無論窓もね。どうやって人間に母さんたちを殺せたって言うんだい？
まあ確かにそのトリックは劇中でも保留になったままだったな。とにかく犯人は鍵だけは持ってる可能性が高いからな。チェーンに許される程度の扉の隙間は確保できたわけだ。非常に苦しい話だが、その隙間から何かの仕掛けを施
Well,
し
who
た
the
可能
fuck do you
性は
think is
あ
the
りえる。
killer then? Inspector Gadget?
いや、あるいはその隙間から何かを出したとか。確かにチェーンってのはえらいシンプルだが、密室を構成するでかい要素だな。だが密室トリックなんておよそやり尽くされてるんだ。そこいらの書店で密室ミステリーを数冊買ってくりゃ、どうせビンゴなトリックが見つかるだろうぜ。とにかく俺には思いつかねえが、どうにかやりくりすりゃ人間にできないことはないだろうって断言できる。
それはひどい暴論じゃないかい？説明できないのに人間に可能だと断言できるなんてめちゃめちゃだよ。
何がどうめちゃめちゃなんだよ。兄貴たちは何を思考停止してんだよ。一見できなさそうに見えてもどうせできるんだよ。それがお約束ってもんだろうが。
めちゃめちゃなのはバトラの方だぜ。人間にできるってんなら説明してみろよ。できねえだろ？
できなきゃすぐに犯人は魔女ってことで落ち着くのかよ。その論法で言っちまったら世界中の未解決事件は全部魔女が犯人ってことで決着しちまうぞ。
バトラは問題をすり替えてるし、何も説明してない。マリアたちは人間にはできない。だから人間じゃない存在が犯人。それが魔女だとそう言っている。なのにバトラは説明できないけど魔女はありえないとか一方的な決めつけで言ってる。まるで無知な時代の人類のようだね。地球が回ってるはずがない。説明はできないけど宇宙が地球を中心に回ってるんだと言い張る愚か者のよ
う。なんだか気に入らねえ論法だが、つまりお前らはこう言いたいのかよ。人間に可能だと説明できないならベアトリーチェであることを受け入れろってことかよ。
そこまで押し付けているわけではありません。ただバトラ様が何を根拠にそのような世まい事を言い出すのかと思いまして。
世まい事ってなあ、俺ってさっきからそんなに変なこと言ってるか？
Well, yeah, bro.
おかしいのは俺なのか？さっきからえれえ不愉快だぞ。
バトラ様、僕は自分が死んだ時ボイラー室で存在しないはずの19人目に殺されています。それが人間の仕業だと説明できるのですか？ あの時18人の所在は全員がはっきりしていました。にもかかわらず僕は殺されている。
その件も劇中で言ってるぜ。例えば熊沢のばあちゃんだ。カノン君がボイラー室に降りてからすぐ後を追ったと言ってるが、実は嘘かもしれねえ。一緒にボイラー室に入って不意をついてぶっすり行っちまったのかもしれねえ。あるいはボイラー室に踏み込むと何かのトラップが発動して例のアイスピックが打ち込まれるように仕掛けられていたのかもしれない。何しろ焼却炉からはじいさまの遺体の悪臭だ。必ず誰かがやってくるわけだから、仕掛けだけ施せば犯人はその場を離れ、カノン君の死亡時刻にアリバイを作ることは十分できる。
ボイラー室のトラップってどんなのですか？
そうだよ。あの後すぐみんながボイラー室に駆けつけた。でもそんな変な仕掛けは見つけられなかったじゃないか。
さようです。バトラ様、どんな仕掛けで僕は殺されたというのですか？
いや、それはわからねえ。でもとにかく何かの仕掛けをうまくやってたな。あるいはこうも考えられるぜ。そもそもあれはカノン君の自作自演だったとかな。
Dude, he's so good at acting, he died. He's a method actor.
自作自演だ。エヴァおばさんたちも自作自演なんだよ。自分で密室を作り死んだふりをした。
バトラー、お前さっきから頭大丈夫か？
冷たいお飲み物でもお持ちしましょうか？
そこまで荒れみの目で見られるほど妙なことは言ってねえ。俺はあくまでもトリックを考える上での可能性について言っただけだぜ。それにほら、死者が実は死んでないなんて推理物のお約束じゃねえかよ。
お約束って？
つまりだ、カノン君が殺された時、確かに俺たち全員の所在ははっきりしていた。そして熊沢のばあちゃんも嘘はついてないとする。でもそれは生存者だけの話だ。もし死んだふりをして犠牲者に混じり姿をくらましていた犯人が別行動をしていたとしたら、全ては説明できる。
はあ、つまりエヴァおばさんたちが犯人だと言いたいわけか？でもおばさんたちの死亡については南條先生が医者として判断してるぜ。
Manjo can fit into Beatrice's death, no problem. Or dress, no problem.
すべての犠牲者について確認しています。もしバトラ様の説を採用するなら、南條先生も犯人ということになりますか？
ああ、そうだな。南條先生が犯人の一味で嘘の死亡宣告をしていたかもしれないと考えりゃ話は変わっ。ほら、これも推理物のお約束じゃねえかよ。
でも南條先生も殺されたよ。
Also pretending.
そうさ、南條先生は偽装師なんだ。何しろ南條先生以外に検視ができるやつはいねえし、あの時はもう混乱してる状況から本当に脈が止まってるかなんてのんびり確かめてる暇もなかったぜ。この論法なら死者は誰だって歩き回れたことになる。
私たち最初の6人は難しかったんじゃないかと思います。だってシャッターを閉められた上に内側からは開けられない南京錠をかけられちゃいましたし。
そうだぜ、その鍵は母さんが預かった。じゃあ母さんも犯人の一味だってのかよ。
いやいや、最初の6人は無理そうだが、エヴァおばさんたちは外から鍵をかけただけだろ。なら内側から開けられるし。そうさ、俺たちが部屋を出た後窓から飛び出してボイラー室に先回りしたとか。苦しいか？あるいは南條先生も検視を誤ったとかな。ほら自分でも言ってたぜ、検視は誤審率が高いとかって。 うまく偽装したとか、身代わり死体を用意したとかで死をごまかしたんだ。方法やトリックはこれから考えるとして、とにかく19人目を否定することはそう難しいことじゃないんだ。ましてや魔女？それだけは断じてありえない。
バトラがさっきからなんで堅くなに
My
みんな
goat
の
is
中に
washed.
犯人
Yeah,
がいる
man.
ようにしたい
Fucking
の
hell.
かわかんない。
He won't stop yapping, too.
つまりバトラは親族の誰かを疑いたいんだよね。
そういうわけじゃねえ。ただ安易に19人目を肯定はできねえし、仮にいたとしてもそれは人間だって見地から話を構築すべきであって、
I wholeheartedly disagree with you.
それら全部を否定しきった最後の最後で苦し紛れに出てくるのが魔女だろって話をしたいん
That
だ。
already happened.
魔女なんているわけないだろ。なんでさっきからみんなは魔女が犯人ってことでひょいひょい納得したがるんだ。そりゃ身内に殺人犯がいると思いたくねえ家族愛は立派さ。でもそれでごまかしちまっていいのかよ。あれだけ大勢を殺した憎き犯人を見つけ出したいとは思わねえのかよ。兄貴だって両親の仇を見つけたいだろ。ジェシカだってカノン君の仇を、そしてカノン君だってシャノンちゃんの仇を見つけたいだろ。シャノンちゃんだって自分を殺したのが誰なのか知りたいはずだ。なんでこうパーンと全面降伏して魔女が犯人ってことになっちまうんだよ。お前らさっきから何なんだ。
Foolish and short-tempered Battler tried to force his ignorance on the others and yelled at them. However, everyone just looked at him pityingly, silently watching over him. At that time, the wise Maria laughed and pointed out Battler's mistake.
呆れてるんだよ。バトラはさっきから支離滅裂なことを繰り返しては何かを分かったような気になってるだけ。だからそれで人間にどうやって具体的には。そう聞くと決まってバトラは今は思いつかないけどとか何かの仕掛けでとか抽象的な言葉で逃げたりお茶を濁したり。むしろ知りたいよバトラ。どうしてベアトリーチェを信じないの？いるのにどうして？
いねえからだよ。魔女なんかいねえ。いるわけがねえ。
Almost like a spoiled child who just doesn't want to accept something. Pitying gazes quietly closed in around Battler. They didn't reach his stubborn heart.
まるっきりだだっこのわがままだぜ。
バトラ様、お気持ちはわかりますが。
ベアトリーチェ様はいらっしゃるのです。
バトラ君、どうして信じないんだい？これほどまでに状況証拠は揃ってるのに。
説明できなきゃ全て魔女なんて俺はそんな論法は認めねえ。
I mean, that's fair, except the problem, Battler, is that I, the fucking player, and also like canon and stuff, they have seen magical butterflies appear and kill people. Okay, man, just fucking get with it.
どうして電球が明るくなるのか。仕掛けを知らなきゃ全て魔法ってことになるのか。違うだろ。魔法じゃなきゃ説明がつかないことなど存在
That
しない。
might just be to not spoil who the culprit is, Blue. The game literally has narration that says butterflies appearing, and the characters even point out the butterflies appearing. There also it can't be a mystery as to the culprit, because if it's a 19th person, we don't know who it is anyway. And based on all that we've seen, unless Battler's right, and for some reason someone played dead, then there's literally no one else.
魔女だの魔法だのってのは思考の放棄だ。兄貴たちはわからねえ事件に屈服して降参しただけなんだ。そうだろ。
やっぱりバトラだけはどうしても信じないね。 誰か一人でも信じなかったら奇跡は起きない。だからバトラのその猛獰な思い込みを改めさせなきゃ奇跡が魔法が完成しないんだよ。
なるほどな。ようやく一端が見えてきたぜ。つまりお前らは俺に魔女様は存在するって言わせたいんだろ。全員が認めた嘘は真実になる、そういうこったろ。あいにくだな。ここばかりはあいにくだが、そいつは全然ダメだぜ。お前らが俺にそう詰め寄るからこそ、だからこそ全然ダメなんだ。
ふん、
悪いが
Oh, sorry.
最後の最後でもう一回チェス盤をひっくり返させてもらうぜ。魔女の存在を俺に認めさせたいなら一番簡単な方法があるはずさ。それは人間にはできないから魔女なんていう遠回しな方法じゃ。魔女が魔法でやってみせた、それを俺に見せるだけの話なんだ。さらにだ、さっきマリアが言ったことが一番墓穴を掘ってる。誰か一人でも信じなかったら奇跡は起きないってな。真の奇跡は誰が信じようと信じまいと、たとえ俺一人が信じなかったとしてもだ。だからこそ俺が信じれば成立する奇跡も魔法も、そして魔女も嘘っぱちだってわけさ。
The uneasy mood following Battler's ignorant rant was blown away by a very soft and light laugh. Whose laugh? Battler was surprised. He had never heard that voice before. When he looked up at George and Jessica, at Shannon and Cannon, and Maria, he noticed that they had suddenly gone respectfully silent.
ベアトリーチェ。
よい。
Hi. Hi, it's nice to meet you. I've heard so much about you.
久しぶりに愉快な人間に出会えたものよ。
Oh. Listen, I've said it multiple times and I have to say it again. I both hate and love the commitment, the unrelenting dedication to fucking forcing you to sit here in Battler's fucking head and all these characters while you have to sit there and just be like, well, I saw magical butterflies kill people. But you have to sit here with Battler and you're like, well, shit, Battler's going on about it so much and it's playing like his heroic theme is playing while he's talking about how witches can't be real. So I guess I should be on Battler's side and witches aren't real. Even though I've literally seen golden witches kill people with demon fucking drills. But then at the same time, then Beatrice shows up. Just here. And we're in a fucking post-game tea party.
招かれた茶会のホストも知らぬか。よいよい。
こちらのお方は1000年を生きる黄金の魔女、ベアトリーチェ様にあ
Out
ら
of
せられます。
curiosity. Ah, there is. Hello, Beatrice. Beatrice, the golden witch who has lived for 1,000 years. She has surpassed the limits of humans, and like demons, will sometimes appear in response to the summons made by humans, to offer her power in exchange for a price. She likes black tea and ice cream. She hates boredom and people who deny her existence.
ご機嫌うるわしゅう、ベアトリーチェ様。
バトラ君の暴言をどうかお許しください。
The kids also got updated? Yeah. Oh, fuck.
こいつは頑固です。
Yeah, I know, I know.
自分の置かれた状況が分かってなくて。
Oh, yeah, because of the death. Missing. Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Hey, hold on. I'm actually curious. Oh, yeah. Missing. Even though she was given a precious invitation to the Golden Land, a single fool refused to believe in the witch, and all the magic disappeared. She was then shooed to bits by demons and went to hell. As is, yeah, the end did point out some shit like this. Yeah, the end credits thing. George missing. Even though everyone was getting along so well after being reunited in the Golden Land, all the magic came to nothing because of a certain hard-headed fool. Afterwards, the demons chewed him to the bone, and he went to hell. Maria missing. Hehehehe. This fool made the world where everyone could be happy all come to nothing. Though Beatrice is extremely angry, she also seems to be enjoying herself immensely. It's almost as though she's waited 1,000 years to get her hands on a toy as fun as this one. Hopefully, even this fool will be able to see you before too long. Oh, hello, Revan. I also like black tea and ice cream and hate boredom. Can you date Beatrice in this game? This guy wants to date Beatrice. She put him in a furnace, though. So if you want to take your shot.
よいよい。1000年も生きると、大抵の魔女は生き飽き。そなたのような気骨ある男も、時にはよい。
ベアトリーチェがお姿を
No
現してくれ
biscuit,
るのは
no biscuit.
とても
That's my
光栄な
man.
ことだよ、バトラー。
こりゃたまげたぜ。そこまでして俺に魔
Oh
女
my
が
god, Battler.
19人目が犯人だと思い込ませてえのかよ。ますますに気に入った。だから全然ダメだぜ。お前はマリアたちが主張する魔女ベアトリーチェの幻影というわけだ。そして全員がその存在を信じることでようやく存在を許される。そういう虚構の存在なんだろう。だから俺にも信じさせたい。俺だけが信じないから存在できない。そうなんだろう。
魔に通じぬ凡夫の分際にしては理解力は悪くない。なるほど。どうやらそなたは生まれながらにして魔力に強い抵抗力を持つらしい。我ら魔女の天敵をどう逆さに振るってみせようとも決して我らを信じぬ。だから魔法が及ばない。お前のその態度にも。
Oh my god. Wait, no. Wait, no, you don't.
何を言ってやがるかさっぱりだぜ。
You can't tell me that the exact thing I talked about, like last stream, in like a confused rant about the game showing us things and the character refusing them, is like literally a core of the game.
わざわざお姿まで表してもらって恐縮だが、俺はお前さんの存在なんてこれっぽっちも信じやしないぜ。
Hatler, what does that even mean, man?
確かにこの2日間妙なことは何度か起こった。さっきマリアに言われた通り、俺はそれら全てにトリックの説明がつけられると思っているが、だからといって屈するわけじゃない。
Hatler, you're in purgatory.
俺は兄貴たちとは違うぜ。説明できないから魔女の仕業だなんて論法には絶対ならねえぜ。
ますますに気に入ったぞ。お前は屈服させがいがある。お前のような男にこそ我が名を称えさせてみせたいぞ。お前のような男にこそつま先にキスをさせてみたいものよ。
She likes the ones that play hard to get.
寝言言いたきゃ好きなだけ言ってろ。俺はお前なんか否定してやるぜ。全ての出来事人間とトリックで説明してやる。
What about the part where you were in purgatory and she's talking to you? Battler, what's the human trick there?
そこには一変たりとも魔女も魔法も入り込む余地はね
え。よい。それでこそ千年の退屈も紛れるというものよ。ならば聞こう。
Is this the part where you rewind time to let him try again?
お前は先ほどエヴァたちを殺
What?
す扉の隙間を利用すればよいと言ったな。人間とトリックでどう殺してみせるのか。セット。
いきなり一番辛いところから切り込んできやがったな。ってことはこのトリックが一番の自信作ってことなんだろ。真犯人さんよ。
With a shake of her golden pipe, gentle, multicolored smoke trailed out the end. Smoke quickly obscured their surroundings. They were suddenly in the hallway of the mansion. The door in front of them, slightly open but secured by the chain, was... That's right. It's the door to the room where Ava and Hideyoshi were killed.
便利じゃねえかよ。
Yeah, nice trick.
さて、このわずかな隙間からどうして見せるのか、バトラとや。
多分あのアイスピックを打ち出せる射出機があるんだ。そいつを使って。
その隙間からは見えぬベッドの上のエヴァをどう狙うのか。そしてバスルームにこもり扉を閉めた秀吉をどう狙うのか。
くそ、隙間はある。何か方法があるはずなんだ。
お前に思いつかぬならわらわがやってみせてもよいぞ。
ほう、魔女様ならどうやって見せるってんだよ。お手並みを拝見してやろうじゃねえか。
バトラ、ベアトリーチェに口の利き方
Yeah,
が
she's into
存
it
在。
though. She's into it.
よいよい、愉快な男よ。それでこそ屈服させる楽しみが増すというものよ。
そんなに俺につま先にキスをさせてえかよ。
Sure, a lot of people, yeah.
俺が降参したらな。だが見てろ、きっと俺がこのトリックを暴いて逆にてめえを俺のケツにキスさせてやるぜ。
愉快な男よ。覚えておこうぞ。弱き魔女は力を得るために悪魔の尻にキスをする。それを超える屈服の誓いはないからな。そこまで言わせたからこそわらわはお前を屈服させてみたくなる。
Paying no mind to Battler's worthless ranting, Beatrice once again shook the golden pipe. That's right. That golden pipe was her precious magic cane.
さあさあおいでなさいな子供たち。我こそ煉獄の案内人。
Kiss demon asked for power. It's good, yeah, yeah.
大罪を許せし七つの悔いを持て。
Forgive the deadly sins and hold the 7 stakes. Guided by those magic words, which sounded like a command, 7 stakes gathered. They were the stakes of the 7 demons, symbolizing the deadly sins of sinful people.
ベルゼブブにアスモデウス。さあさあ罪を許しなさい。罪人の魂を解放なさい。
Is she she resetting? What is she doing? No, she's... Oh, she's showing... like billiard balls. Oh, sorry. I got... The pics of Beelzebub and Asmodeus, responded to Beatrice's call. The 2 stakes of the demons were sucked in through the crack of the door like billiard balls struck by a cue stick. Then, several scattered noises refracted through the wall, making a sound like a woodpecker. And at the end, a pleasant sound could be heard. It was a small, satisfying sound. the one heard when someone is chopping firewood. The falling axe neatly and easily slices through the wood. It was the sound of the two picks burying themselves deep into Ava's and Hideyoshi's foreheads.
ど真ん中というところへ見てみる。
They definitely heard two sounds like a pair of foreheads being split open. Battler wasn't permitted to see it, since he was on the other side of the door. But those two had died again, and this second time, they lay not an inch apart from where they had lain the last time, with the exact same blood spray as before.
バカ野郎。そんなめちゃくちゃで殺せてたまるかよ。
殺せるとも。このように殺せるとも。
Welcome back to tea time. Suddenly, they were no longer in the hall, but seated at the tea party they had started from. Everyone but Battler was sitting meekly. The cannon was moaning, fresh blood dangling from his mouth. But a rude thing to do at a tea party. Satan's stake was buried deep into Cannon's chest. Look, she did it again. It's just like last time. Why weren't you the sad when Genji and Nanjo died? Meanie. Battler was the only one getting agitated. George, Jessica, Shannon, everyone else was meekly hanging their heads like students being yelled at by their teacher.
カノンはさまつな怒りにとらわれ、わらわの宴を乱そうとする。怒りにとらわれやすいのはお前の大罪よ。清め、悔いてやり直すがいい。
At Rice.
ベアトリーチェ様、どうかお許しください。カノ君は十分に反省したと思います。
よい、わらわは敬う者に寛大である。
ふざけるな！こんな三本芝居で俺がお前の存在を認めると思うなよ。
It's pretty convincing.
何が1000年を生きた魔女だ。
If he does not at some point in this game say more like 1,000-year-old bitch or more like golden bitch, I'm gonna be really disappointed.
てめえのトリックなんざ1000年じゃねえ。せいぜい100年程度のミステリー界が作ったお約束の累積上にあるだけだ。魔法なんかじゃねえ。断じてねえ。
Okay, Kaiba.
事件の全ては人間とトリックで説明がつく。
我が1000年を人間どもの100年で語るか。よいよい。だからこそわらわはお前を君に。
愚かなバトラ
ー。よすんだ、バトラ君。ベアトリーチェ様に逆らっちゃいけない。
Was your head about to get smashed in? Shannon started moaning, holding her cheek. Maybe she had a toothache. Apparently it wasn't a toothache at all. Slight redness spread across the cheek Shannon was holding. It looked like that redness was causing Shannon unbearable pain. Her fingers were pressing in against her cheek, and drops of sweat appeared all over her body.
シャロン！シャロン！しっかり！しっかり！
どうしたってんだよ。くそ、なんなんだこりゃ。この赤いのは。
Expanded rapidly, covering half of Shannon's face. Then, the stupid dunce Battler finally realized.
頼む、バトラ君！ベアトリーチェ様を信じてくれ！故障だから。君が信じないから。信じないから。魔法が溶けてしまう。
Oh, the magic. Yes, because yes, everyone's fucking dying again because of this. For the first time in his life, Battler heard that sound, like a pomegranate splitting. The red spray even landed on Battler's face. Poor Shannon's face had been split in half, and her last horrible moments in that storehouse were repeated once again.
Shadow! Shadow!
Wow!
くそくそやめろやめろやめろシャを恥ずかしめるなシャを恥ずかしめるな
Battler! Battler, please. This time the redness spread across George's entire body. It was like the beautiful cloud drawn by milk when it's poured into black tea. It spread out and extended across his entire body. As it did, it seemed to give George increasingly greater pain. Looking at this bizarre spectacle, Battler was petrified as he frantically thought with his pitifully clumsy imagination. But the nature of this strange death George and the rest were experiencing. Eventually that redness reached the nearby Jessica as well.
やめろやめろやめろ兄貴が何をしたジェシカが何をしたもうやめろ
パトラ魔女なんかにくじけるんじゃねえぜ否定しろぶっ消してやれこいつは誰か一人でも否定する限り存在できない幻影なんだ
大丈夫かジェシカ
No, no, she's definitely not okay.
兄貴
George was no longer recognizable as a human. He looked like the pile of leftover meat after the good, delicious meat has been scraped off to be cooked. The only thing that even resembled a human was the shape of his lower jaw and ribcage, and it was clear that Jessica, who was covered with a steadily strengthening redness, was approaching the same fate.
バトラ早くベアトリーチェを信じてじゃないとみんなの魔法が解けてしまう
マリア
Yeah, this is the body parts that the police found that were mentioned in the credits thing.
わらわは魔法で全ての死者を蘇らせでもお前が信じない限りそれは真の力を持たないもっともお前ほどの男がこの程度のことで屈服することはあるまい
パトラ私たちは身内を疑いたくなかった現実から目をそらしたから魔女に屈してしまったでもパトラなら魔女になんか屈しない
Okay.
Jessica! Jessica!
Poor Jessica met the same end. Just like George, she ended up like a butcher's leftovers. George and Jessica were now so destroyed, melted, and mixed up, it was impossible to tell them apart.
バトラ泣かないでベアトリーチェは死者を何度でも蘇らせてくれるよだから悲しくないよだから死んでも
The redness began eating into the whole of Maria's body. The foolish battler watched and screamed.
てめえは許さねえ。絶対に許さねえ。
Uh-oh, music.
何が魔女だ、何が魔法だ。俺は全身全霊をかけてお前を否定してやるぞ。何が何でもてめえを認めるわけにはいかねえ。俺をここまで敵に回しやがった以上、絶対にてめえだけは許さねえ。許さねえ、許さねえ、絶対許さねえ。よくもこの後ろ宮バトラーを敵に回しやがった。何が何でも貴様を否定してやるぞ。どんな不可解だろうと全部人間で説明してやる。てめえをこの世から細胞のひとかけらまで残さず消し去ってやる。
よくぞ言ったぞバトラとやら。それでこそ我が千年の退屈も紛れるというの。さあ説明するがいい。人間とトリックとやらで説明してみせるがいい。そして人間の身の程を知るがいい。我が千年、人間どもが気づいたとかいう100年で太刀打ちできるか試してみるがいい。それでこそお前を屈服させる楽しみが増すというものよ。さあ聞こうバトラとやら。マリアの手紙は、6人の殺し方は、シャッターは、レシートの封印は、チェーンの密室は、カノンのボイラー室は、源氏たちの客間は、夏日の自殺は、碑文の謎は、隠された黄金のありかは。さあバトラとやら、人間の力を見せてもらおうではないか。
Well, first of all, banger song. I think this one was submitted to one of the music streams because I recognize it. Sorry, I didn't have anything to say. I was just... So our mission is to make magic not real by coming up with reasons that it could be... Oh my god. We have to unmake the magical witch by making everyone believe that things could happen even though they were probably in fact done by magic. So it's a... Wait. I'm sorry. So, wait a minute. Like 10 minutes. Okay. Wait. So we need to... So in order to defeat the magical witch, we need to just make everyone believe that there can't possibly be a witch. I mean, if that's what's happening, then like, I mean, that is kind of fucking bizarre and crazy and kind of cool as fuck in a... But I'm also so confused because I still don't really know if that's really what it is, but I mean, that's what Battler's doing. We're going back. We're gonna like go back. Beatrice is into this shit. And just like the fucking thing says, once Battler manages to do this, she'll rest. She can rest again or something because she'll be unmade. So Battler needs to make everybody believe without a shadow of a doubt that it was humans. Even though In the first episode, at least. I can't imagine it was. I think it was all her. So does he just need to gaslight everybody? Is that his mission? Wait. Wait, this is kind of sick. I'm so... Wait a minute. Is that what this is? Because the witch is real. That all just occurred and it's happened. But Battler's gonna prove the witch isn't real. But she's real. But he's just gonna make her not real. What the fuck? How do you even come up with a premise like this? But there's also clearly way more to it than that because, you know, but also what the fuck? You understand now why this work is so hard to talk about to some small extent at least. Yeah, I get it. It also, it makes so many of the, what were seemingly baffling decisions of the first episode make so much more sense. Like so many of the things that like left me just like confused as to why they would structure it that way and have these long scenes of people debating things that you literally saw happen. It all makes sense now. Wait a minute, dude, that's crazy. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Give me like 50. Sorry, Crystal got home. What the fuck? Ryukishi needs an editor, but God can the man write? Yeah, holy fuck. Like now that it has clicked into place why he did all that, the way he did it, it's fucking brilliant. What the fuck? I'm still like wrapping my head around this as a concept. It's crazy. I've never seen or considered anything like it. Oh, all right, we gotta get this shit out. All right, so I have to do this now. Okay, welcome to the tea party of those who are not human. Oh fuck, what else are we doing? Okay, I gotta do this shit. I gotta end soon. So let's do this. People will say there are no unique stories left, but here we are. Wait, dude, if Battler is just spending the rest of this game gaslighting people, then he's my protagonist, man. He's my protagonist. What is this? Are there gonna be a bunch of other witches now? And some crazy shit? Oh my god!
梅干しは1パック200円のやつよ。1000年紅茶をたしなんだが、そのようなものは。
What's happening?
つくづくこの世は生き飽きぬものよ。ベアト。
She's got a nickname?
そんなにも敵意をむき出しにしなくてもいいわ。私は単なる旅の魔女。あなたの領地のルールを犯しに来たつもりはないわ。敵意などみじんも。伝説の魔女ベルンカステル教に粗相がないか気が気でならぬだけよ。
Seeing to it that the legendary witch Lady Berncastel is well attended to?
誤解があるわね。私は無力よ。あなたのような一人を100殺す恐ろしい力を持った魔女の前には全くの無力。
Got me the tips now? Oh fuck, we have a whole other thing here. Berncastel. The Witch of the Fragments, who has lived 1,000 years. It is said she lives in a world where the concepts of fate and possibilities can be visualized. She observes the fate of humans and sometimes interferes. In other words, sometimes she is you, and sometimes she is your only friend. Understand? She likes wine and spicy foods. She hates boredom and people who never learn. You can't see, man. I got the biggest smile on my face. Okay.
かの大魔女ラムダデルタ教を大気に退けられた。
ラムダデルタラムダデルタラムダデルタラムダデルタラムダデルタラムダデルタラムダデルタ The great witch Lady Lambda Delta was dethroned by you alone.
あの子が飽きただけのこと。
ラムダデルタ教はそうは言ってなかった。
ラムダデルタ
過ぎた謙遜はかえって醜くもあるぞ。ベルンカステル教。
あの子は恐ろしい力を持って一人を必ず殺す力。しかしこの世に必ずは存在しない。1をいくら割ろうとも決してゼロにはできぬように。あの子はそれを限りなくゼロに近づけ、限りなく絶対を生み出す力を持つ。あんな恐ろしい魔女と戦うのは二度とごめんね。
しかしそなたはゼロでない限り必ず成就させる力を持つ。この世に必ずは存在しないとのたまう今日ご自身が必ずの力をお持ちでおられる。恐ろしい恐ろしい。
一人を無限に殺す力。私はあなたの方が恐ろしいけれども。
ご冗談を。褒めても何も出ぬとはまさにこのこと。
世辞は滞在費代わりに。私はかけらを渡り退屈から逃れ続ける逃亡の旅人。あなたが面白そうなことを始めたと聞いたから、あなたが面白くなくなったら勝手に出ていくからご心配なく。
大ベルンカステル教にご降覧いただけ、このベアトリーチェ強烈至極に存じるぞ。してご感想は。
ラムダデルタはとても残酷で恐ろしいけれど、あなたは一見慈しみがあるけれども、だからあの子よりずっと恐ろしい。
気まぐれなのは我が性。許すがいい。それに気まぐれなる際の目に運命を託すはベルンカステル教も好まれることだった。
私は才を振るときはっきりと出したい目がある。あなたとは違う。でもあなたにとっては全ての目があなたの手のひらを出ない。そしてどの目であってもあなたの期待を裏切らない。サイコロが何の目を見せようとも必ずあなたは満足する。その意味においてあなたは私をはるかに凌駕する。あなたとだけは戦いたくないわ。あなたの中にゼロしかない。だから私の力ではあなたから勝機を得られない。最悪な相性ね。ラムダデルタなら逆に相性がいいのかしら。あなたの無限を殺せるでしょうから。
やはり 紅茶を飲むなら魔女とに限る。退屈しない。
ならよかったわ。退屈は私を殺す唯一の毒なの。だから私を殺さないでね。無限の魔女ベアトリーチェ卿。
それがお望みならこのベアトリーチェさらに楽しませてお見せしましょう。ならすぐにでも次のチェス盤をお持ちした方がよろしいか。そなたにはどうも紅茶よりも次なる物語の方が。しばし待たれよ。
あなたも厄介なのに好かれたようね。
Huh?
力を貸してあげたいのは山々だけれど、聞いての通りこの子の力と私の力では相性が悪いの。おあいにくね。でもさすがに気の毒だから
Oh,
少しだけ力を貸してあげるわ。
thanks.
まずあの子のこと。
Yeah.
ベアトリーチェという名の存在を持っているけれども、だからといってそれは一個体の女性とは限らない。意味がわかる？つまりあれは人間の誰かじゃない。この世界のルールが擬人化した存在だということ。あの子を倒すにはこの世界のルールを暴き、それは例えるならルールを知らないチェスを観戦しながら学んでいくようなもの。まずはチェス盤を見渡しなさい。そして駒の動きと役割に気づきなさい。そしてあの子のゲームの勝利条件を探りなさい。それらが暴けた時、そこにあの子の心臓がさらけ出される。あとは引き裂くも握りつぶすも思いのまま。私も気前がいいわね。
Thank you.
かつて人の身だった頃、私はたったこれだけのことを気づくのに100年をかけたのに。これはベアトに囚われた哀れなあなたへのささやかな選別、さながら一本のスプーン。スプーンはスープを飲むのに使うだけじゃない。あなたを閉じ込める赤狼を掘り抜き、魔女の目玉をえぐる武器にもなる。もちろん永遠の赤狼の中で水のようなスープを延々とすすり続けるのにも使えるだろうけど、勘違いしないでほしいのは、私はあなたの味方のつもりはないということ。あなたに感情移入はするけれど、あなたの手助けはしない。あなたがテレビの前でその向こうの人物にいくらエールを送っても届かないのに。
Dude, she's a Twitch chatter that's been banned.
だから私が魔女だってわかるでしょ。
I understand.
私はベアトがこれから紡ぐ無限の物語を飽きるまで楽しむつも
Oh, she's gonna backseat if I unban her.
り。でもきっとそれじゃ飽きちゃうから。
MMOGM.
だからあなたに力を貸すの。私は世界で一番残酷な魔女なの。どんな相手でも絶対に屈服させる。無限の魔女ベアトリーチェであってもね。お前は私の駒よ。せいぜい頑張りなさい。あの子の目を盗んで時折助言を与えるわ。私を退屈させないでね。
Would you like another credits? Addition of a new game board. The next episode's lock has been removed. Addition of new features. Wait, there's more new features? What? Tips. Take a look back at your recent stay. We hope this will help you better recall the events of the past 2 days. Okay, so this is just little recap things. Okay. You see the tips menu as it was left. Okay. Hey. Yeah, I'm not touching anything else tonight. Even though I'm so fucking curious how episode 2 starts. But, okay, we're gonna do a tier list real quick of the characters based on certain things, and then I'm gonna wrap up for the evening. We only have an hour left. Last night, 2.5 hour stream. Anything that I expected going into this was all wrong. Anything I expected going into just this stream and how the episode would end was all wrong. And all for the better, because holy fuck. Wow. What a fucking premise, man. That is crazy. Holy fucking shit. Alright, hold on. Let me load up the tier list real quick. Wow. It's so hard to talk about. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I have to do some things real quick. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, that should be good, I do believe. So now... Boom. We have a tier list! Character tier list. Hold on, let me zoom in. Alright, chat, let's do this real quick. Because I gotta wrap up. But holy fuck. Am I baffled by so many factors? Truly the most just read it work of all time. It's so complex that to spoil someone you would need a 12-page essay. Yeah, I'm still just not over how insanely unique the premise seems to be. That Battler needs to defeat her by removing the thought that it could be her. Like he needs to it's crazy. It's crazy. As just a baseline premise, I don't even know where it's gonna go from here because I don't think it's gonna just be that. But as just a baseline, here's your hook. Battler needs to basically make the truth not the truth in people's minds, so that the thing that would make the truth be the truth stops being the truth, and then can't be the... What? I don't even know, man. Okay, well, anyway. Okay, so we're just ranking the characters just on, like, my thoughts on them, how they are. Battler to start is a guy who is I flip-flopped on Battler so many times. So many times. And it was by design. It was brilliant. And by the end, his fucking last, like, his last decree as that song was playing. Holy moly. Hold on, actually, which one was that song? Bonnie sent me that song. Hold on, I think it was the last one. No, was it Prison Strip? Is that the one, Bonnie? Prison Strip, yeah. That was fucking sick. Dude, him just fucking challenging her. Holy shit. Like, I love that his denial of her very blatant, obvious existence is his weapon. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And that's why it's so cool. Like, hi, I exist and I am all-powerful, and I am proving to you I exist by standing right in front of you. Oh, okay. I'm gonna make that not true. What? Like, that's so cool. That's crazy. So Battler goes to S tier. Battler has to go to S tier. Beatrice, I mean, okay. Even just excluding how, like, awesome and mysterious she is at the end, her presence throughout the entire episode is just phenomenal. There is, like, the scene in the kitchen where they're all talking about her and they're all, like, looking right behind Battler while they're like, hey, Battler, treat the name Beatrice with some respect. Like, it's just awesome. We'll put her in S tier too. This fucker, I don't even remember her name because it was weird. She's weird. She's cool. I mean, she get look, even in the portrait they use, it's the one where she's looking at the player. And for the meta aspect, yeah, Berncastel. Berncastare. Like, I mean, that's cool as fuck. But okay, I haven't met her enough. I don't, hold on. Listen to this shit, man. Okay. I haven't met her. I don't know her enough yet. I don't know her enough yet conceptually, and just her introduction was so great. So I'm gonna put her in B because it fits her. It's her name. B for her name. Okay. Ava. I think Ava's a great character. I don't like her as a person at all. This is just ranking them as characters right now, but like, I don't like her at all. Like, as a person, she's like a D tier person, maybe lower than that. As a character, I think she's extremely strong. I'm gonna put her in A tier. Because I feel like there are certain layers of her I don't quite fully understand yet. And I will come to appreciate them even more as time goes on. Genji. I just like Genji, man. I just like him as a guy. I like the way he treats the other servants. I like his demeanor. I'm gonna put him in B tier. George. I'll be honest. I like George, but I feel like he's not coming into his own as a character yet. He kind of flip-flops on things a lot, which might be part of him. He's also a moron. But I like him. I like his he's depressed all the time. I have to I have to I have to cut him some points because I feel like despite the horrific things he experiences, he doesn't. I don't feel like he genuinely reacts to them enough outside of the initial moment. Like, I wanted George to be just truly fucking destroyed for like half of the episode, but he just wasn't, and I feel like that made him a little bit on the blander side, so C tier. Shadow, you missed a lot of stuff because this was like 5 or 6 streams. George is a character with a ton of potential for really cool shit, so or for like good character stuff, but I feel like they didn't quite live up to it. So I'm gonna put him down there. Fucking Goda. What could I even talk about Goda, bro? He was in the episode for like 1/10 of the whole thing, and he was a prick. And for that reason, he's in C tier with George, because he was funny. Hideyoshi. I like him. He's kind of just never in the spotlight because Ava's in the spotlight, but I like him for what he's doing as a character. I love how often, even though he goes along with whatever Ava's saying, he still kind of is clearly like, you know, I'm not quite, I don't think she's making all the best choices. And I like the way he stands up for George as like a man and shit, and how he refuses to let George see Shannon's face. I mean, George doesn't really want to see her face too, but Hideyoshi's also like, he doesn't want just him to see her face. I like Hideyoshi. I'm gonna put him in B tier as well. Jessica. I like all of her stuff with her mom. And I do like that she is one of the characters who does genuinely become more broken down, as opposed to George, who just kind of Georges it up. I think she's definitely above George, but I also think that I just need to see more of her outside of her just being... I mean, she's not generic or anything, but she hasn't like had any big moments for herself yet outside of just being completely overwhelmed, which is good, but it's nothing like super special yet. You know, she hasn't had any of her big moments. She seems all right. Seems to be the catalyst to Battler. Oh, not to an extent in that last scene, yeah, in that tea party, she was definitely like the last like Battler. I know you've always been like this, but don't give in, which is cool as fuck. So that's actually kind of, you know what? You just convinced me, Shadow, to put her. I was gonna put her in C, I'm putting her in B instead. You're right. She did have the catalyst moment. Canon. I like him. I like him. I like his shit. I like his sad furniture crap. I'm gonna put him... I like his attempt at a last stand, even if it was utterly pathetic. But he is also a character who I kind of wished I would have seen more utterly distraught after Shannon died. Sorry. Putting him in B tier. Kinzo! I mean, listen. The man steals every scene he's in by force. He grabs the spotlight and shines it on his own face. And I love him to death. And I love the scene where, despite his madness all the time, that scene, his final scene before he goes missing, is him telling Natsui that she, despite being married into the family, is his only true blood relative, and that she has the one-winged eagle carved into her heart. It's just so fucking sick. We love Kinzo. Kraus. Speaking of motherfuckers we love. Kraus is great. He's sadly one of the more short-lived people. But he's very good. I do like him. I love the way he turns things around on people. I like his style. I like Kraus. I think he'll be also going into the B tier. Above all these people. I like Kraus. Kraus is a fun character. Kumasawa. Yep, she's... put her in C tier with Goda and George. Kyrie. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. If ever a woman has spun a chessboard around and deeply engraved it into a person's mind, she doesn't get to talk a lot. Put her in E. I'm not doing that. I do like her. She's a nice old lady. I don't dislike any of the characters in this. They're all good for one reason or another. They're all strong for one reason or another. Kyrie, I like her. We kind of wish she had more lines, but every time she does talk, I like her a lot. I like her personality. I like her banter with Rudolph and Battler. All around, despite her limited screen time, I just like her a lot. B tier as well. Maria, she's just always right. I hate to say it because I fucking I mean, she's pretty great. I think she'll go into A tier. If only there was a U tier. Anjo, the man who doesn't belong here. He's gonna be the final boss? Nah, he's chill. She's just a crazy kid who allegedly is very normal for her to act the way she does, according to the reasoning of George the genius. Listen, Maria, I like, she's kind of insufferable and stuff, but also I kind of love her presence through the whole thing, where she's just there being like, hey guys, this is exactly what's happening for the entire episode. She's just 100% right every time. Though I do love the sequence where Battler's just tired of it, and every time she starts doing evil laughs, he just bonks her on the head. That was really funny. Banjo and Triple S. Listen, I unironically love him. He just has no reason to be here. Kinzo invited him to the island on this particular day purely because he's like, I need another body. I need my fat doctor. And I love him for it. So I'm putting Nanjo in B tier. Even though he doesn't fucking do anything. He just walks up to dead people and says, yep, they're dead. That's all he does. But I love him. He's so funny. Natsui. Fuck it. Battler's great, but he had too many moments where I wasn't sure about him. But to be fair, they were all done exceptionally well. But Natsui just... Man, she was great. I was just... the whole time, I was just like, poor Natsui. And the moment that fucking Kinzo gave her that little, you're the only fucking real deal Ushiromiya, and then she just went, full confidence mode. And that fucking, declaring a fucking challenge to Beatrice to a duel, even though she clearly did not win, was hype as fuck. I love Natsui. All my homies love Natsui. Rosa smacked a child? No, Rosa's good. I liked Rosa a lot. I can't wait to see more screen time with her after everyone gets revived or something, and we redo the day. The picture they chose for her was really mean. They could have chosen one of her pretty faces. But no, Rosa's great. I'm gonna put her in top of B tier, I think. She just seems like such an interesting, overwhelmed character, and I love how she fucks up and then immediately is blasted with immense levels of regret, and also just the stuff that's talked about later about her situation. I like Rosa. Rudolph, another character who I just like his vibe, man. I like him. I just like him. I haven't had enough time to get to peel back his layers, but everything about his personality, his banter, his dialogue, I like his portraits, and the final scenes with him where he's like, hey, I want to talk as a family. And he doesn't get a chance to, but I like him a lot, so. And then lastly, we have Shannon, who is Shannon. I think I'll put her right next to George. They can be engaged in C tier together. So there you go. Here's your episode 1 Umineko tier list, chat. I don't think there's a single bad character to be seen. They're all either okay or great or somewhere in the middle. Now, to be fair, a lot of characters kind of get an unfair demotion from where they probably can be because they die 1/3 into the episode when they get their heads brutally smashed in. So, you know, and even they still get B tier, except Goda and Shannon. Maria in D tier, but she's fucking fascinating. Ooh. Like, I might like kind of hate her and want someone to like blow her head off with a rifle when things are intense, but you know. Still, we're gonna still do one on the quality of the people they are. Yeah, I'll do that right now. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me save this one real quick. Hold on. Let me just save this one. Download image. I'm gonna save it to. We're gonna blast through this one real quick, but let me do the people quality. Episode 1 tier. Okay, great. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, can I take them off the thing? Hold on. What if I just refresh it? No thanks. I'll just clear my history. How about that? And then I'll refresh it. Will that work? There we go. Okay, hold on. Let me rename the tiers to all right, Saint. Great heart. Good person. A great person. Good person. Normal. Okay. Flawed, but decent. Bad person. I'd like to add another layer. Bad person. Really bad person. Burning in hell. Great, okay, I don't know. I mean, he's not a saint, because he does say some weird shit sometimes. Adler's a great person, though. I think, all in all, his heart is always in the right place. But he does make some questionable decisions. But doesn't make him a bad person. But he occasionally, you know, says some weird shit. And he's a little weird with the gropey stuff early on when he's goofing around. That doesn't quite make him a saint. Beatrice is a saint. I think Beatrice is probably burning in hell. I'm gonna just assume that you're burning in hell based on the way you described your actual reasoning for your intentions. Sorry. Ava is a... I think Ava's a bad person, but not a really bad person. Ava's a really bad person. I think Ava's a really bad person. But no, she's a bad person. You wouldn't put her in flawed? I mean, she's flawed, but I don't think she's really decent. I think she's a bad person. The fact that she's like taking advantage of the brutal murder of her family without too much like remorse for it, like pretty definitively taking advantage of it while also trying to fuck over Natsume, puts her firmly in bad person. Eyes on the bag. Yeah, she's a bad person. That doesn't mean she's not smart. Genji, I'm gonna say Genji is flawed but decent. That's not really a good tier for him to be in, because it, like, on one hand he is a very good person to people, but also he's a good person. He tries pretty hard to get the fuck in the room when after the Ava thing happens. He's a good person. But he still ultimately follows Kinzo's fucked up, crazy rules and shit at the same time. So he's definitely not a great person. He's a pretty good person. George... George is a... George is an idiot. That doesn't make him a bad person. Overall, George is a good person. Goda is a really bad person. From what we can see, literally everything he does is self-serving and never does anything for people. Yeah, this is all vibes, honestly. Yeah. George should date someone around his age. I think that should knock him down. Wait, how old is Shannon? Battler, a better person than George, is hilarious. I mean, it's true. It's true. Most of the time when Battler makes bad decisions, it's because George, like, pushes him, it gaslights him into thinking. Shannon's 16? George is 23. Oh my, wow, I thought Shannon was like 19. Salty? Hey, Salty. We're gonna have to talk, buddy. No, guys, we can't say he's a bad person purely because this is Japanese culture and it's like 1970 or something. Or wait, what year does this game take place in? But didn't they say something about having... Didn't Hideyoshi say he wanted a color TV? 1986. Why the fuck was Hideyoshi saying he wanted a color TV? All right, anyway, the point of the matter is simple. I'm gonna cut George the slack of saying he lives in Japan. He also like totally pressured her into deciding to marry him. We'll move him down. We'll move him down a notch. Hideyoshi is better than Ava, but he's still flawed. We already kind of talked about that. Jessica seems like she's... I haven't seen enough of Jessica like going out of her way to like super duper help people, and she did let her emotions get the best of her in certain situations. I'm gonna put her in good person, but I think she has the potential to be a great person. I just don't know enough about her yet. I've seen enough situations where she made questionable decisions in this episode. Her asthma holds her back. Kanon's a good person. Kinzo is burning in hell, let's be honest, guys. Kenzo's not a good person. I love him, but he's burning in hell. Kraus, based purely on vibes, is probably a bad person. I mean, he's a rich businessman who intelligently outmaneuvers people. That makes him a bad person. He did burn, that's true. But I don't know if Kraus is a really bad person. I didn't have enough scenes. Yeah, I genuinely don't know. It sounded like he was kind of a tough parent, but he definitely wasn't a good husband. But at the same time, I do think there was something genuine when he was like telling Natsui he didn't want to tell her about things that would stress her more. I do wonder if there was some genuineness there, and maybe he's just not good at showing it, so. Kinzo's a really bad person. Kinzo's burning in hell, Salty. Salty, Kinzo brought up orphans as fucking sacrifices for his hot witch GF summoning ritual. Kinzo's burning in hell, man. So, Kumasawa seems like a good person. Actually, I mean, she might even be a great person. I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't really see her going out of her way to do anything too, like, amazing. But she has a kind heart. She doesn't really do anything wrong. I'm gonna say Kumasawa's just a good person. Kyrie, I have no fucking idea. She's married into a rich family and stuff, and she seems smart. I'm just gonna say, based purely on what I've seen from her, she seems like a good person. But she's probably also kind of a bad person secretly. I'd do the same thing. He changed the trajectory of Shotgun Lady in that one scene in his room. Do you not even know her name? Her name is Natsui. He lifted her up when she was down. Yeah, he didn't do that out of the kindness of her heart. His heart. Maria is really hard to judge. She's not a good person at all. She's a child. Is anyone gonna end up insane? No. I guess put it there as, you know, just to show. Maria doesn't really do anything evil if you think about it. She just stands around and tries to tell people the truth the whole time. I don't know, dude. Maria, hold on. Put her in the question mark tier. And mocks her dead relatives? Well, her dead relatives are stupid and don't listen after she says things a million times. And also, she knows they're all gonna get resurrected, so why should she care? She's just in the know, bro. Nanjo seems like a good person. Bro literally just tries to help in every situation. You know what? I'd even say Nanjo's a great person. He's a doctor. In every situation where Nanjo can help, he does. And he's a doctor. He's a great person. I've decided Nanjo's a great person. Saint status? I don't think he's a saint. He is friends with Kinzo at the very least. Natsui is a flawed but decent person. She is only flawed because she makes decisions that a bad person would make, but for the good of something potentially selfish to her. So, flawed but decent. Rosa is flawed but decent as well. Like, she does smack her kid around, but I don't think she's doing it in an evil way, considering she deeply regrets it after the fact and clearly tries from a good place to wish better for her insane fucking daughter, her insane demon daughter. I guess she's probably above George. Or under George, because George doesn't slap a child around, he just tries to date a child. She beats her child, but not in an evil way. Shut up. Rudolph does not do anything overly evil. He's just kind of mean to his wife, but not even in a mean way. Like, she doesn't even seem bothered by it. Well, she seems a little bothered. He's better than George and Rosa, but I don't know. I think Shannon's a saint. I think she is completely pure of heart. She just is kind and like wants to make people happy. She doesn't do anything wrong. I think Shannon's a saint. And there you go, chat. There is your how good of a person are they tier list. Oh man, oh boy. Wait, what, Salty? Salty, I have to go. What do you want from me? Well, what Salty consider? You gotta make a Stockholm Syndrome section for Beatrice? What do you mean? What does that even mean? Beatrice having the time of her life and she will burn in hell. I don't even know what you're talking. She killed all the kids and they were worshipping her. Well, that has nothing to do with her. Oh, you mean put the kids there? No. Anyway, where would Dunban be ranked? Let me show you. Okay, look at the tier list. Okay, real quick. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Keep an eye out for a stream probably tomorrow. I probably won't take a day off tomorrow because I really want to see what's going on in the next episode now. This was awesome. I'm out of here. Have a great night. Where would I put Dunban on the tier list? Well, if you look, then I'd say...
That's Dunban over there!